sitting at the intersection of time, space, reality, and fiction, floats a yellow eye. Always watching, never blinking. Its gaze has witnessed all that has happened before, and knows what is yet to come. Countless stories of hope, hate, heroics, and heartbreak. It has no mouth by which to speak these lessons, so it calls upon its head clearer to tell these stories, by word and by deed. Heed the yellow eye's lessons as it gazes upon its servant, just as the eyeball gazes upon you. Our story has already begun.
Hello, my children, and welcome back to Friday night. It is Dungeons and Dragons night. It's been a couple of weeks, but we're back. We're finally ready to go and do some... I could have swore I turned that off. I could have sworn we turned that off. Wow, I could have swore I turned the other thing off. That is absolutely terrible and totally unexpected because I really did think that I turned that off. So let's go to the goober board and... Oh, I turned off Macarena. Yep, I turned off the wrong one. Oops! Anyway, it's fixed now. Thank you for finding that, Pingus. Anyway, guys, it's been a couple of weeks since last we played Dungeons & Dragons. For a recap of where we were from last week, our party members have found their way to another site known as the Stone Stand. They lied there, once they landed there, they landed right next to a very large tree, and when they did so, a bunch of ghosts come out, 5 ghosts in fact. One that took over the dwarf and made him do naughty things to the rest of the party, and the rest of the party had to knock him unconscious. He then returned and, and then they killed all the ghosts. So, that's the first part. And that's kind of where they are right now, is looking at this giant tree. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and...
If I was polymorphed into a giant ape already, or someone else was, and then they got possessed.
Oh, hi.
I wonder if you got possessed, if you'd be able to use all your powers.
But again, with 45 health... We might miss you a few times, but between me and the Barbarian and Paladin, I'm sure we can manage 45 health pretty quickly.
I don't know. You've seen the way I roll.
They're already making plans.
Hit you in the face a couple of
times. Yeah, I was just simply going based off of how you guys usually roll. So
you're basing this how I usually roll.
And
you never know with me. Did
you roll that twice? Jesus.
For all the weeks we've missed.
Yeah, that must be. So, guys, where we left off, essentially, you just got done fighting a procession of ghosts that came out of this great oak tree that's right in the middle of this area that you understand is called the Stone Stand, based upon the map that you have from Harshnag. And, yeah. That's where we're standing.
I'm just saying, it looks like a giant eyeball right in the middle of a bear.
Right.
That's what it looks like to me.
We're still trying to get relics from these places, aren't we?
Yes, that's what you were in the process of doing. You've collected quite a few relics already, but you have a few places that you haven't visited yet in order to collect these relics.
We need to check the tree.
Let's check that tree.
Let's check that tree then.
So the tree itself is just a very, very old tree. I mean, you can definitely tell, Huss, just from your knowledge of nature, that for a tree to get this tall and this large, it's been there for quite some time. It's almost too large. As if maybe its growth had been altered in some way.
I'm going to walk around the trunk of the tree and see if I see any openings anywhere.
All right, so as you walk around the trunk of the tree, it just looks like tree bark. You know, it's a good 15 feet around, or not around, but from the side to side. It's got a good 7.5 radius, 15-foot diameter trunk. It's a pretty hefty tree.
And do we see anything hanging down from any of the branches or anything like that?
No, other than just the pure size of this tree, there doesn't seem to be anything out of place of the tree itself.
I'm assuming I can't detect if it has any magical properties with that roll.
Not really. I mean, as far as you can tell, it kind of looks normal. It's just really large.
I wish I had that problem.
Yeah.
Hey, you drank your potion. You already used it up, mister.
So maybe the tree.
So how tall is this tree?
The tree itself looks to be, it's about 40 feet wide. And in and of itself is probably a good 60 feet tall.
They say there's like no holes or anything to like get inside or
Nope.
underneath it or...
Not that you can see from around the trunk, no.
Alright, I want to turn into like a squirrel or something and climb the tree.
Yeah, that's no problem. Are you just climbing the tree just to climb the tree?
I'm climbing the tree and, can't see much from the ground.
Okay.
I'll climb it and make my way kind of up the main trunk area and see if I can spot anything going up.
Gotcha. All right. Go ahead and give me a perception check, please. 1d20 plus your wisdom plus proficiency bonus, since I believe you're proficient with it. There you go with a 26. So as you scurry up from branch to branch, making your way up, you don't sense or see anything out of the ordinary in the tree branches. You do spot a couple of, some wild animals kind of nested in their various nooks within the tree itself, but you make your way all the way up to the top, and even once you reach the top, you just got a really good view of the entire site around you. So you can make out the various hills with the stone cairns built up around it and all the various things. Outside of that, there's not much else of interest that you could really pick up.
Okay. I'll just climb back down, go back to turtle form, and let them know I didn't spot anything.
So around the edge of this, are these all like round things like stones?
Yes, there are piles of stones.
Maybe what we're looking for is underneath one of these piles of stones.
Underneath the tree?
No, around the edge, you see all the bumpy things? Those are piles of stones, he said.
Well, this tree is like grown in a way that may not be normal, so something's related to where this is standing. Plus the ghost came out of this tree, so there's something related to this tree.
I would like to take the shovel that I have and just start surveying around the outside of the tree, around what appears to be like the eye of it. Like, I just want to see if I can't maybe find a bit of metal or something more than just dirt or rock that I'm not necessarily digging too deep, just a couple of sample holes as I walk across.
Okay.
Maybe there's something just below the surface that we're missing.
All right, yeah. Go ahead and give me a. Actually, I'm not even going to make you make a check on that. So as you kind of dig around, you don't notice anything special in particular going around the tree. There's a couple of spots where you kind of have you kind of hit some of the thicker roots that are emanating from the tree. As they kind of branch out all around in this area. But outside of that, there doesn't seem to be anything, directly below the surface, 1 to 2 shovelfuls below the surface.
Huh.
Did anybody try to detect magic? Has anybody got that?
What's that, if anything, where I moved my blue moon thing? Is that anything there?
It's just, so where the tree is you're kind of up on a hill.
Right.
And then there's a depression.
A discolored spot. Right.
Okay. Yeah.
there.
No. Yeah. It's just the way the map is. Nothing of. It's just a raised area up in there, so it depresses down into that kind of bear-shaped depression that you see there.
In the rocks, or the piles of rocks around, what are the black dots?
Essentially just shadows from the map drawer.
Okay.
Yeah. They're basically just piles of rock, yeah.
They look like doors.
Yeah, they're they're small essentially. They are kind of shaped a little bit like doors, but there's not like it's not like an opening to walk into.
I have a suspicion about something. Is there a way that I could say just discreetly pull back a small section of one of these stone mounds? I'm not trying to fully dismantle it. I suspect this is a burial mound of some kind. I just want to start digging slowly and maybe find a clue. If it's a burial mound, I want to stop and not go any further and pile the rocks back. But I want to explore this mound a little bit.
Got it. So these mounds are extremely similar to the other stone mounds that you've seen at every single one of these sites that you visited before. And as you kind of start moving some of the rocks out of the way, it does very much remind you of a burial mound.
Continue. I'm sorry.
Yeah. There doesn't seem to be anything out of the ordinary that you can tell just by kind of moving some of the rocks around. But they do seem to be burial or memorial of some sort.
I'll put the rocks back at how I found them and just call it that.
Okay.
I would like to start ritual casting detect magic on the bottom area of the tree.
So detect magic, I believe you cast on yourself, and it allows you to see magic, I believe.
Right.
I'm pretty sure it's on you, and then you're able to detect the magic at that point. All right, so after, completing the ritual, after about 10 minutes of doing your chants and your rituals, you start getting a real sense of the magical nature around you, and you can sense in the ground below the tree a heavy necromantic vibe emanating from below the tree.
Ooh, that sounds bad.
Oh, it sounds delicious.
Delicious
Hey.
necromancy.
Drea, can you do anything to detect anything in that regards there? Maybe you could make it explode or bring it to the surface? I don't know. What about you, Greykick, with your fancy little totem to that weird god thing or whatever?
I mean, I could pray to it, I guess, and see what happens.
Just start praying to random things. What could go wrong?
Right. So I don't plan on praying to Asmodeus or whatever it is.
The thing that you stole forever ago.
Yeah, this holy symbol.
This
of
holy
Asmodeus.
symbol that you stole at session like 1 or 2, whichever one it was.
It was the first one.
Yeah, I don't really have anything that's like detect or whatever.
Can we burn the tree down? Maybe.
Could I tell how far down?
It looks to be quite a few feet. It's nothing that you can't really tell you kind of just get a kind of a faint necromancy glow from underneath the center of the tree. So it's a few feet down.
Point it out to me,
Well,
sir. I'll start digging.
I could badger it up again.
But you won't.
Point out the spot to the dwarf. He's got a shovel. Make the small creature work and whatnot. I got this.
Okay. It's there under the tree. Start digging.
All right.
See you in 6 months.
I start digging at the spot the turtle has pointed out to me, trying to get to the glowy thing he sees.
All right, so as you the biggest thing that it's the soil itself that you're digging through is actually pretty pliable. It's not super packed down, so it's not too difficult in order to dig it up. The issue is that because this tree is so old and been around for so long, the sheer number and size of roots that are going out in all sorts of different directions are kind of in the way, and the only way to really get digging down deep in order to get in there, you kind of have to chop through the roots as well, which kind of slows things down quite significantly.
I have enough axes for this, but
give me a go ahead and give me an intelligence check there, Morgan.
Oh God, why? Oh.
All right.
Yeah. He's not too bright of a dwarf.
No, I got everything one guy.
Maybe Google
Box
shit.
rocks. Or bag of gems, either way.
Bag of
Still
gems?
box
Is that what you're calling me?
Listen, sir. Killing me.
You calling me Bag of Gems? Is that my name?
Oh, no, I was trying to make a euphemism between the intelligence of a box of rocks and a bag of gems.
Okay,
Roughly,
gotcha.
the same.
Roughly the same. Yeah, exactly. So, so essentially what you know is that this is going to take some time, but you don't have a really good way of estimating how much time it's going to take you to get down to where this thing is by yourself.
Watch your profanity.
Hey, Turtle, we could use a beaver of some kind in here. Maybe some kind of prehistoric sized one?
You just
Something
got
that's huge?
Skamos' attention.
Also, yes.
The beaver
that's
is not for
true.
you, Skamos.
What now, guys?
Next time.
If the turtle turns into a beaver and you try to do something to that, he's gonna be mad. Then it'll be an angry beaver.
True.
But I think he meant like a honey badger or something that burrows. Honey badger. I don't know why honey badger is the first thing that always comes to mind, but it is.
Oh God, dude, those things are
But the beaver could chew
tenacious.
through the wood.
Dude, if you see a honey badger in the woods, I personally would just run away. Nope. The thing would just maul you for the fun of it, really.
But you can definitely tell, Morgan, that this is definitely going to be slow going. It's going to take quite some time to dig this up if you keep going by yourself.
I mean, as far as I know, I'm the only one with a shovel.
Do I have a
hey,
shovel? Let me
Turtle,
see if
can
I
you
have a
help me
shovel.
out with those natural druid claws of yours. Help me dig, please. Or we can just burn the tree down. I'm cool with
I
that.
have a shovel. I can help.
No, we're not building. We're not burning the tree.
You need to get the beaver out and chew up some wood.
I kind of figured you wouldn't go for that.
I didn't want to burn the tree down at first either, but now I'm indifferent after all those ghosts came and attacked us.
Right.
I mean, I can try and dig with a wooden oar.
I'm actually interested to see that, actually. Guy just striking the ground.
So I'm going to take my shovel out and help Morgan. I do have a shovel.
Okay. All right, cool.
Since a turtle doesn't seem to want to turn into a beaver. And make this
turtle.
fast.
So, you kind of know the general
Hey, I
direction.
offered that at the very beginning.
A beaver?
Somebody wanted to dig. I said I'd turn into a badger.
All right, turn into a badger. Join us, turtle.
Yeah, so are you turning into a badger and kind of digging down?
No.
No. All right. I'm making sure that you were or were not. I wasn't sure. All right. So, all right. Yeah. So as you both of you start kind of working together, you can definitely you're definitely speeding up the process. Both of you give me an intelligence check.
Wow.
All right, so Morgan, you kind of can estimate that it'll take about, with both of you guys working at the current rate that you're working down, that it'll probably take about 20 hours total for the two of you to dig down. The more people working together, there is a better chance, or you'll basically be able to quickly dig it out the more of you work together.
Come on, guys. Who's else got a shovel?
I have a shovel.
I don't either.
You don't necessarily need a shovel, but you can definitely assist as far as, like, you know, helping take large rocks out of the way. As long as you're helping do it, you'll speed up the time.
All right, I will help do it.
Yeah. Wait.
I will supervise and point.
All right. So I don't remember. When did we actually arrive there? We arrived there in the middle of the day, didn't we?
I believe so.
Yeah. So after about, 5 or 6 hours, and under the direction of... Were you helping as well, Skamos?
Yep.
Okay. So with the four of you together, after about 5 or 6 hours, with the basic directions of where this necromantic aura was coming from the druid, it looks to be that you've kind of proceeded to get about halfway down into this thing as evening's time starts to approach.
Maybe we should stop until daytime now. And take a
Light
long
a
rest
fire.
and put up the little hut.
I can dig it. Finish this tomorrow.
And I'm glad we all gathered in this hole today. This is where you all remain.
Son of a... So is this where the turtle betrays us all and like shallow grave, bye guys?
I'm really not a turtle. No, just kidding.
This whole time I've been a demon. You fell into my trap. Yes. So yeah, evening is starting to. So the sun's starting to set, and evening time is starting to kind of push in. You're a little more than halfway in. You could probably push your way through, if you want to. It's entirely up to you at this point.
I think we should stay on the surface to rest and then finish doing it during the day. That's what I think.
Mush. Mush.
I agree. Being half dead and out of abilities.
Being half dead and I have ability. mean...
So, if I used a tiny hut, could we still dig until the edge of the hut? Or would we not be able to... Would it not go underground?
Does it say? I don't actually know. Does it say what the floor is? Is it completely enclosed from the bottom?
That's a great question.
Does it specify that? You tell me. It's your spell.
A 10-foot radius immobile dome of force springs into existence around and above you and remains stationary for the duration.
Around and above. So that means it does not go below you, which means, yes, you could create the hut. The problem is, well, I guess it's 20 foot, right?
10 foot.
It's a 10-foot one. All right, so you're talking something about, like... Yeah, since that's kind of where you are, you could definitely set it up and get to work if that's what you wish to do.
Might as well. We can have one person working and one person standing guard, or just the guard works.
Yeah, I like it. The guard works while they're awake.
Okay, we can do that.
Let's do it.
All right, so evening comes upon us, and Skamos goes about his business to casting the hut, while everyone gets up inside of it.
Oh yeah.
Evening rolls around. You guys have your...
Skamos likes it.
Yes, exactly. In close quarters with everyone nearby.
All up inside it.
And it's a thing of force, correct? The hut. Does it say it's force?
Oh.
Oh wait, you linked it. I was about to ask you to link it for me.
Yeah. Dome of immobile force springs from existence.
All right, cool. It's force.
Yeah.
All right. Sweet. So, yeah, throughout the night, you're actually able to kind of work your way through. Since only one of you is working at a time, essentially, it kind of does slow down the process a little bit. So as you guys kind of work through, you slowly make your way towards that particular area. Then, right around midnight, at the time where... Move out of my way. At the time when... Skamos, it's always Skamos. Right around the time when Skamos is awake and working, Skamos, you notice out of the corner of your eye some movement by the base of the tree. And stepping out of the tree is that very much that same ghost that you saw as the first ghost that stepped out of the tree before.
Not this again.
It stares at the side of the hut and walks up to it and puts its hand on the edge of it, and its hand stops. So it doesn't seem to be able to push its way through the wall.
Ooh.
Good, he can't get in the hut.
I guess we live here now.
Yep.
So it seems to, like, it takes out its spectral axe, and starts to pace back and forth around the hut during your entire shift. Amandrea, when you were awakened a few hours later by Skamos for your turn, the ghost, he points out that ghost is still there, walking back and forth, essentially just patrolling the outskirts of this thing, perhaps waiting for it to go away or what.
Yep, but it can stay out there.
So
That's
by
right.
so by your guesstimation, based upon kind of where you think it is, based upon what the druid was saying and how far, since there has been 3 shifts essentially, at one at the time, you're close to the end of your long rest time frame. With only like Huss basically being the last person in order to pull their shift. That if you guys all work together, that you'll probably be able to unearth this thing before the hut gives out.
Let's do it.
But or you could just continue and wait for your long rest to finish.
I would like to wait till our long rest finishes so I can get some hit points back.
Completed a short rest? Throughout all this time, have we at least done the short rest? Considering we're working towards a long rest, and given where the shifts
No,
are?
so essentially, it's a long rest and short rest are a little bit different. If you guys don't complete it, we can make it a short rest. If you guys decide to wake up and continue on, I will allow everyone to have a short rest since everyone pretty much was completed, but it will not be a long rest.
How's everybody's spells?
I need
Terrible.
my spells back. I've
So,
only got 1 spell slot left.
Oof.
how long will we have left on the hut once the long rest is completed?
So it'll pretty much stop as soon as the long rest completes.
So we're back to fighting ghosts and more than likely being out of spells again if we don't just unearth this now.
Well, what I'm saying
Can
is
I wake
that
up a minute early and recast the dome before the other one ends?
I mean, we could probably swing something like that if that's what you want to do.
And could you recast the dome right now?
I guess I could. I still have 1 slot left, technically.
Yeah, so what you would end up doing, you can recast it at any time. And the other, you can basically ready an action to cast a spell essentially right when you dismiss the other spell, essentially, and make it pretty much instantaneous. Especially if you kind of watch the path that this guy is taking and kind of do it where it's a little bit surprising.
Yeah, I think that sounds like our best bet. Then we don't have to deal with all these ghosts again for a while. Hopefully.
Okay. Yeah, so this will interrupt you being able to complete a long rest if you cast another spell, though. You'll have to start over at 8 hours. Because the effort that it takes to cast a spell will interrupt your long rest.
I say we risk it for the biscuit and go full long rest and just not cast anything now. Just wait until morning, mayhaps.
Yeah, I'll risk it. I still have a 4th level spell slot. Worst comes to worst, so.
Okay. So we can definitely do it that way. So we will go ahead and... so what's essentially going to happen is as soon as this hut falters, combat will begin. He will rush in and start attacking you the same way that he did before. So you guys can go ahead and roll your initiative. I will go ahead and give you guys the long rest. And so long rest for everybody. Everybody roll initiative. Wait, why did you not open?
rolling initiative.
Yeah. Do it all the time. Oh, I am really confused now.
All of the confused.
There we go.
Oh, Rash. I know, man.
He gets that advantage being a barbarian. Anyway, all right, so everybody's rolled initiative. We are up to first and foremost.
What about the turtle?
Did he not roll?
Oh wait, there he is. My bad.
I was going to say, I thought I saw him. Yeah, because he's slow. He's a slow turtle. Morgren, you are up first. So essentially, right, you guys kind of have time to prepare your spells and get yourself ready for the day. The ghost is standing just outside of the dome here. Let's go ahead and... Standing just outside the thing, and as soon as it drops, combat begins. So you guys are able to... Neither side is necessarily surprised. And you're the first one that gets to go.
So can you cast a HUD again now? Or that won't work?
That spell takes a while to cast, I believe.
It takes a minute, but wasn't I prepping it? So
I didn't know you were still doing it.
it.
Were you still doing that?
Oh,
Ready?
yeah, that's what I was planning on doing.
Okay. All right. I'm sorry. I misunderstood that. Then never mind. Yeah. So since you kind of have a good idea of when this thing is going to fail, yeah, it takes 1 minute to cast. So you essentially spend your time prepping for it, and pretty much instantaneously, as soon as the spell drops, you're able to recreate it right on top of where you were. This surprises the ghost, who turns with anger towards the HUD itself and just starts screeching at it.
Aww.
And it's just it's super angry.
Can I cast metallurgy and then scream back at it?
No, not this time around, since that's pretty much what you're going to use your turn for. It stares at the edge, and its face contorts, and just turns into that same terrifying visage that it saw like it did before. Essentially, you guys recognize this is the same exact ghost that you saw before. And as it screams at every single one of you, you get this overwhelming fear and start to come across you. And let's see. Why did that not attack everybody? I don't know. Oh, here we go. There we go.
No ghost.
That's right. So Huss makes his saving throw. Amandrea makes her saving throw.
Don't tell me we have to beat up on the dwarf again.
Makes its saving throw. The dwarf makes his saving throw, and the bard makes their saving throw. So apparently your first interaction with this ghost the second time, you're not nearly frightened as it screams and face contorts with all of these next just terrible, and it then kind of starts pacing back and forth directly in front of it, and continues to just work its way back and forth, testing the limits of this this cage that's essentially around yourself.
He's so cute when he's angry.
Right?
Well, you should keep digging.
Right? Let's see if we can make him even more angry with our prize at the bottom of this well.
All right, so you guys spend the next few kind of digging out in the well, ignoring the ghost that keeps slamming his spectral great axe against this dome. And eventually you start to clear out what looks to be something white kind of entangled within the roots of this great tree. As a little more time takes place, eventually you come across, you start to uncover what looks to be a very immense skull. About the same size of a giant skull.
Ooh, fancy.
I think we found
Dib-
it.
Dibs. Right, let's get this thing out of here, guys. Continue to work on that beast.
No fighting this time. Remember what happened last time we found skulls? None of that.
All right, hey, they're not dwarf skulls, so I think we'll be all right.
It's not a dwarf skull. So this thing is pretty thick. The bones themselves are pretty thick. It looks to be that it might be kind of heavy. So you spend the last couple, like 30 minutes or so, kind of digging up and around it and cutting through any roots that are kind of keeping it in place, and eventually you are able to free the skull from its moorings inside of the tree roots.
So how big is the skull? About?
On the new helmet.
So it's about 3 to 4 times bigger than a human skull.
Yeah.
So, and it's pretty heavy. It weighs about 100 pounds.
So, yeah, I won't be able to carry it. I'm just a little thing.
I suppose I'm carrying it.
I mean, you carry just about everything.
Can I put it in my bag of holdings?
You can, yeah.
I'll put it in my bag of holdings.
All right. Yeah, so... Yeah,
Can we
Amandrea,
taunt
you're
our
able to
friend with
take...
it before we go. Before we leave.
What's that?
What was that?
I'm sorry for interrupting. Can we taunt our ghost friend with it as we leave? Because I mean, he's already enraged.
Well, this brings up the next question. How are you leaving?
Yeah, because the minute the hut goes by, we're going to be fighting that ghost.
I say, Amandrea, are you strong against ghosts?
I could cast my Divine Smite, which helps against the undead. What's turn the unholy? Can I turn? I'm not sure how that one works.
Turn
When I
the
click on it, it
unholy.
doesn't tell me anything.
I'd have to look that up real quick.
Because I think I can make him, like, go away. Like, but I'm not sure if that's the spell that would do it.
Yeah, hold on, give me a second here. Turn the unholy. That's probably part of your channel divinity, isn't it? View the weapon you're holding with positive energy. To attack rolls made with that weapon. Yeah, as an action, you present your holy symbol and speak a prayer and censoring friends and undead. During your channel divinity, each fiend or undead that you can see with it must make a wisdom saving throw. If the creature fails its saving throw, it is turned for 1 minute or until it takes damage. Basically, so a turn creature has to move as far away from you as it possibly can, and it cannot move within a space willingly within 30 feet of you.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm gonna try that on the ghost when the hut goes away.
All right. Yeah. So right now, your airship is still hovering above you, but the ladders are not down. So they won't be able to hear you from where you are. But once this drops, essentially, you're gonna have to yell up to the airship, and hopefully, someone hears you in order for them to lower the ladders for you.
Or can Husk fly up and tell them to lower the ladders?
Or booming voice.
Husk can't fly yet.
Ow, dang it.
Next
He
level.
can summon things that can fly, though, can't he? And then ride those?
I mean, that's a possibility.
Because what we could do is he could sneak off, summon the stuff to fly, and then he could go to the airship, get the eagle, talk to the eagle, or raven, whatever it is, convince that to come and pick us all up, and we can all kind of escape one by one, or we can escape in groups with all the other flying stuff, and then I can just teleport back onto the ship, and then take a nap.
I mean,
Because
it's y'all's
the ghost will stay
plan,
up as long as
so
I'm in it. So I just can't be the first one to leave.
The tent and walk with it.
So wait, say that again. I'm sorry.
I said, can we just pick up the tent and just walk with it?
No, it's once it's cast, it stays exactly where it is until it's dispelled.
What if we... Never mind. Never mind. Why don't we just kill the ghost real fast and leave? Or have her summon that and turn it against it. Take off.
If we kill it, the next one shows up. If she turns it, it might just go away and nothing else shows up.
So let's just have her turn it.
All right, so
Okay, I'm gonna try to turn the unholy then.
all right, so now you're not going to be able to do it exactly at the same time as everyone else. You guys are still going to be in turn order for combat. So it will start with, so as soon as the hut drops, we will go in combat order from that point on.
Okay.
So things will happen when they happen. But everyone, your plan is set, so you're ready to drop it, Skamos, to begin this fight?
Let's see. Anybody want to teleport back to me back with me to the ship? I can take one person.
Take me. Ooh,
Take
ooh.
Amadrea.
The one person that you're trying to use the ability for. Let's take them back. That'll make this work.
Can I cast it from the ship?
No, unfortunately. It's within 30 feet of you, yeah.
Once the skull's not closed. A bag of holding already?
Yeah, the skull's been put away.
Yeah, I've got it in my bag.
Heck, give the bag of holding to Skamos and have him drop it off while he's up there.
No, I'll just keep my bag with me.
I don't think she plans on dying, and if she did die, we'd go and loot her at the very least.
We totally raise you on a streak. Don't listen to the bard. Go.
I mean, she doesn't need to give up her bag, is what I'm trying to say.
Right. We'll just leave you if you die, is what I'm hearing. I'm kidding.
Sorry, y'all set? We ready to start this?
I
I'm
don't think
ready.
anyone wants to go with Skamos.
Let's do it.
All right. Morgan, you are the first. The hut drops, and Morgan, you were the first to go.
I turn around screaming, wee! No, so we're just waiting on Amadre to do the thing.
Yeah, I can't do it till my turn.
Actually, let's see,
I ready an action if...
Um,
Dude,
actually, the dome drops if I leave, and Amandrea's right after me. So could I just teleport outside of the dome, and then the dome would drop, and she'd go right away?
Yes, you could do that. But right now Morgren it's his turn. So yes. Yeah, if you go ahead and teleport your way out of that back to the ship, when you exit it, the dome will drop.
Okay.
I'm just readying an action to swing at the ghost if it comes near me.
Okay. Cool. So that's your ready action. Skamos, you're next.
Anybody coming with me?
I can't. I gotta stay.
One has to stay.
Yeah.
And yeah, and you have the bag of holding, and you're holding on to all that stuff, correct, Amandrea?
Yes.
All right. Cool.
Okay, then I'm gonna teleport onto the deck of the ship.
All right. So
And
Wait to desert us, dude.
yeah.
I don't have any
Jeez.
I could
Jeez,
probably
this
still
guy.
launch firebolts from on top of the ship.
Yeah, so what is the name of this stupid map?
Understand.
Airship upper and lower
Yeah,
deck.
I just had to find the stupid thing. Where's my maps? There it is. I got too many buttons. Y'all don't know. I got a million buttons over here.
Buttons.
Button. Who's got the button?
All right, so you are doing an upper decker, and Skamos,
What?
you teleport.
That's
He's
horrible.
eating a double decker while we're down here.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's it.
Skamos, you teleport yourself up onto the ship. Kind of surprising both Tiny and Frankie, who happen to be lounging themselves next to the warm fire of the thing here, while Laz was working the bellows, keeping things up and running. So you teleport up. Is that all you're doing? Is just teleporting up? You still got some movement.
Can I? It takes half my movement to get onto a Raven, right?
To mount it, you can. Yeah, you'll essentially to run over there and mount it. That'll use up your entirety of your movement.
Okay. Then I'll do that next turn, and this turn I will use all my movement to give scritches to Tiny and Frankie.
Oh, you're not gonna
Good
lower.
work, buddy,
you're not
good
gonna
work.
lower the ladders. You're just gonna play with the animals. Got it.
That was the best decision made. Good work. Good work.
Down
Yeah.
here, you're up there, and you're not even gonna lower the ladders.
That's what he does. That's what the bard does.
Where is the airship right now in comparison to
It's
where they are?
So it's essentially in the same location it was when it lowered you guys. So it's right there on the edge. So if you lower the ladder, if you lower the ladders, they'll be basically
So
right
it's
on
like
top of
here?
everybody.
Ish.
More like right here.
Okay. Then I guess I'll go and lower one of the ladders and then go and give scritches.
Then go give scritches. Got it. All right. Yeah.
I was just
So
gonna pick everybody up with the giant Raven, but
Eh.
I didn't know the airship
whatever.
was so close.
yeah, it was it. So they didn't really move too far. They don't take off or anything. So you teleport on, you start working. You really surprise Laz. Laz is kind of like you show up out of nowhere, and he freaks out just a little bit. The ghost then immediately steps forward, and the first thing it tries to do is grab a hold of Amandrea and will miss with its attack. So as it swings its ghostly hand towards you, you're easily able to dodge out of the way. Amandrea, it is now your turn.
Okay, so do I just hit my cast button on my spell?
So for the turn, It should be, yeah, if that's sitting in your spell. Yeah, just you can either target or roll it on top of the ghost to see if it makes its save. It does succeed on its saving throw. So you're unable to turn it with your first attempt. It gives you a dirty look. It knows what you just tried to do to it. And he is none too happy about it.
Oh, hell no.
Gregic, your turn.
Ow! Alright. I'm gonna... my halberd.
Swing at it. Yeah, they're going to hit it with a 22. So your magical axe swishes right through the incorporeal body of this ghost, doing 10 points of damage to it.
Did I mess that up?
You just did damage to yourself, actually, it looks like. Or you just rolled it into the thing. You didn't roll it on the ghost, did you?
No, I didn't. I tried to drop my dice, so I didn't roll it because I picked up the wrong one.
Got it. Yeah, you didn't roll on him.
Want me to reroll? Or just...
Yeah, just roll the damage on it. I mean, we can go with 10. That's fine. That's easy enough. 10 works. All right, 10 points of damage to the ghost, which he doesn't resist because it's a magical halberd.
I'm gonna attack again.
All right, second swing. Your second swing will hit with an 18 for 9 more points of damage. Moderately wounding the ghost. It seems far more unstable than what it was just moments before. And next is... we're back to Morgren. Morgren, you're up.
Ooh.
Did I just get skipped?
Actually, where are you? There's the ghost. There's Amandrea. There's Gregic. Why do I not see you in my list? What was your... wow, it didn't... for some reason, it didn't store your...
Yeah. I know I'm last, so...
yeah, it didn't store your initiative roll. What did you roll here? A 4.
That's rough.
You rolled a 4. You're slower than the trees. They're not even here. Yep. Wow, it didn't do it for Gregic either.
I mean, it was just my turn.
Yeah, but it didn't put it on there. That's what I'm saying. You should have been before Morgren. I mean, it still kind of turned out that way. So, yeah, Husk, go. Sorry. For some reason, it didn't take. I don't know why. It's weird.
I'm going to cast Thunder Wave on it.
Okay. Your Thunder Wave fails its saving throw. And you resist it down to 3 points of damage.
And it gets pushed 10 feet away.
Right. And...
gets pushed 10 feet away. Does that trigger an attack of opportunity?
no, it does not. It is not voluntary movement.
Darn, because that would be a beautiful setup.
Yeah, it would.
Right.
But it's not voluntary movement, so no, it does not count. So you send it kind of flying backwards with your wave of thunder. And I'm assuming you cast that in such a way that it only hit the ghost and not your party members, right?
Correct. Because I can dictate where
just double checking, you know.
Yep.
All right.
And I'm moving back a little bit.
All right. You're not going to try to climb the ladders or anything that are down right now?
I'm not leaving these people behind.
Okay.
No.
Just double checking. All right.
We love our turtle.
Yeah, he's so nice. All right, now, yes, Morgan, now you're up.
I start making my way up. I'm kidding.
I'm making my way up the ladder. Screw you guys, I'm out. That's right. That's the best way to do it.
10. Fine. Screw it. I roll up the guy to this dude. I want to attack him.
Okay.
One would imagine I would have had to have these things pulled up by now, but no.
If you kill it, another one comes out.
You hit with your axe, with it tearing through the incorporeal body of it, and you do 4 damage to it, pulling some of its essence away from itself. Your second attack, your second great axe swing, goes right through it as well. Again, doing about the same amount of damage where its body is pulling away. It seems far more unstable than what it was before.
Screw it. I've got more attacks for this guy.
Okay, so you're pulling out your full on
the action surge.
Action surge. Yep. All right. Yep. It looks like it's barely holding together, and that attack also hits.
I'll be using on the last attack a supremacy dice as well for a lunging strike.
All right. And so that's another. This thing is practically done. It looks like it is barely able to hold itself together anymore as it's doing its thing. Skamos, you're up on top. What you doing, brother?
Well, since I let down the ladder,
How far is your firebolt?
I believe it's 120 feet. I was just about to check.
Okay. I was going to say, you probably will be able to hit it from 120 feet. Yeah, you can hit it.
Yep.
And from your vantage point, you can definitely get a good shot at it without anybody being in the way. So you don't have to worry about, being careful and hitting your friends.
Sounds good to me. Oh, well, I don't have to worry about hitting it either.
Yeah, so your firebolt goes a little wide and impacts the ground below you. Or below it. It doesn't quite do much of anything. So our ghost looks directly at the dwarf directly in front of him.
I wave.
And you're just gonna wave right at him?
Look, another dog. We're being followed.
Now we're gonna have to kill the dwarf again.
Now you're gonna have to kill the dwarf again. He looks directly at you. And its eyes look directly into yours. And you feel yourself kind of being pushed away. But with a quick shake of your head, you were able to regain control of your own facilities, forcing the ghost who was trying to push itself into your body away from you.
Oh, hell no.
So it just attempted to try to take your body over, but you were able to push it out and keep it from actually taking control.
Good.
Amadrea, you were up.
Should I try turning him again or just try killing him?
If you find something
Jack him up.
I think you should climb up the ladder.
go back.
I'm not gonna leave Huss. Huss didn't leave me.
I still have another turn before this goes. You should just climb up the ladder.
It's true.
How many of those divine do you have? I think you have 2 or 3. I don't remember how many you have right now. What is the name of that? Your channel divinity. Gain the following 2 options. So how many do you actually have? That's what I don't remember.
I don't know, because when I click on the little red thing, it doesn't tell me anything.
Gotcha. Yeah, so some of them are fully automated and some of them can't really be automated, so you just gonna have to either just make it up on the fly or whatever. Give me a second here. I'm gonna double check what you have, Miss Paladin. What do we got here?
All it tells me its level is 0, and that's about all it tells me. There's nothing under summary. There's nothing under ritual. There's no casting time.
What I'm reading online, it just says as an action. It doesn't say it's a cat.
It's not a. You don't have a limit apparently for those 2 abilities. All right, just double checking. That's what I wanted to double check.
Okay, then I'm gonna try to turn him again.
Yep. It fails this time, and as you invoke the power of your deity and channel it through your holy symbol, the sheer brightness seems to burn at the ghost and starts to push it away from you. It seems extremely frightened of your presence.
That's right. Run to you, mama.
All right, Huss, you're up.
Can I do an action now? Can I run?
That was your action.
Okay.
You can move, yeah. If you want to start climbing, you can do that.
I'm gonna start climbing the ladder.
Okay.
Come on, Huss, let's go.
All right,
Well, he's
so you have 5, 10. Yeah, so you'll get about halfway up the ladder.
Okay.
Is what you'll be able to get knocked out since you did your turn undead. Now, Huss, you're up.
I can climb all the way up.
Yeah, you'll be able to just basically climb up the other ladder. There's 2 ladders from the side of the ship. So
Okay.
if you're moving
I'll
on,
climb up.
all right, you're gonna climb
She's
up.
satisfied with turning it. I'm going up.
All right, so you climb up and get yourself out of there, and as you get over there, the first thing you notice is how Skamos is just basically playing with the pets and not really paying attention to anything that's going on.
I'll play with them too.
All right.
I like Skamos' plan.
Yeah, they're just the turtle and the tiefling just playing with animals while everyone else takes their time climbing up the tree. Gregic, you're up.
I really bought those pets for those 2, actually.
I'm going to climb up the ladder.
All right, yeah. So with your extra speed, just running over to the ladder, you're able to climb your way up to the airship as well with no issues. Morgan, you're up.
So, a question before I move. This thing's running away, is turned, and is running away from us?
It is
or
turned. It is turned, so it will not willingly go anywhere near Amandrea. And will try to flee as far as it possibly can from her presence.
Will,
So you need to come over
it
by
try
me,
to
Morgan.
attack me if I move from it at this point?
I believe it
It
just...
wants to get 30 feet away from her.
Yeah, it just wants to
So
get
it
away
should
right
be-
now.
Made it where
it-
you could just disengage.
It may try to take a swing at you.
Right. Even if it does get an attack on me, I want to use my full movement, both my attack action and my movement, just to get up the ladder as well.
Okay, yeah. So as you kind of take off, it does. It doesn't make any move towards you as it's just kind of shielding itself from the sheer awesome power coming from Amandrea. And you're able to as well using your full movement to get all the way up back to the ship as well. And Skamos, you're up top. You're playing with cats, right?
Yeah, I'll just keep on petting the animals. Actually, I'll cast Speak with Animals too.
Okay, just to have a conversation with the pets.
Yeah. And the Raven. Can't forget about him. Ask him how his day was, you know.
Gotcha. All right. So, the ghost itself, seeing where Amandrea is, even though she's halfway up the ladder, just immediately starts floating away. And as soon as it kind of exits the range of your power, it turns and just screeches at you in just pure and total hate and anger.
I'm gonna blow kisses at it and then finish going up the ladder.
All right.
Love you so much.
So as soon as Amandrea, as soon as you get to the top of the tree, or to the top of the tree, off the ladder and onto the ship, you notice a blue glow start to envelop the ghost that is currently far away. That same glow starts to also emanate from the tree itself. And almost as if a connection was finally severed, the ghost itself completely dissipates from existence, and blue sparkly lights just kind of float up from what used to be the body of the ghost up into the up into the sky. And the same thing happens around the tree, where the blue light just kind of explodes and these small blue lights just float off into the distance and slowly fade away.
So I kind of freed the tree from having being haunted.
Go work, everybody. High five. Go work. Yeah. High fives all around. Scratches for the puppy. Woo!
Yep. So, there you go. So you guys are back up on the ship. You were just at Stone Stand. Is the mission still the exact same, or where you're going to start heading towards Grandfather Tree, or you guys changed your mind?
Then Grandfather Tree, next stop.
Grandfather Tree. Have we gone to Everland yet?
Everland's not the next stop. We need to go to the X's.
Oh, the X's. That's right, too. Sorry.
Yeah, so you're essentially where you are right now. Is you're over here on Stone Stand. So you started here, you worked your way to Great Worm Cavern, Barona's Well, the Stone, One Stone, sorry. You took a quick stop over at Silvery Moon in order to stock up on some stuff, made your way to Stone Stand, so now you're moving down to Grandfather Tree. All right, so making yourself from Stone Stand to Grandfather Tree, it doesn't take you too long, and actually, because they're so close, and with a little bit of a tailwind that your airship picks up as it makes its way down, you're actually able to reach the next area of Grandfather Tree, essentially by the time night starts to fall. One of the things that you've kind of noticed, which is really kind of interesting, not necessarily about this area in particular, but that giant raven that your illustrious bard kind of calmed has not left. The crew members have kind of taken a liking to it. They've been feeding it grain from their stores, and yeah.
Nice.
So it seems to be hanging around still.
Well, heck yeah, to collecting pets? Yeah. Freaking awesome. So I'm thinking that we take a long rest here up on the ship and descend down into a Grandfather Tree in the morning.
All right, so
I definitely like a long rest idea.
all right, so as you you can get a pretty good idea of what this place kind of looks like. Grandfather Tree itself, you can definitely tell. I gotta minimize this a little bit here. As you can kind of see, straight smack dab in the middle of this very large kind of opening, is kind of a setup of various trees kind of spread around. In the middle of it, now the main tree itself is actually kind of even bigger than the other one that you were seeing before. Essentially, the tree, that entire, where it kind of looks like waves on the map itself, that's the actual width of Grandfather Tree itself. So this thing is several hundred feet wide. The canopy of it, is several hundred feet wide.
Damn.
It is just absolutely ginormous. The small trees themselves are dwarfed. Even though those trees themselves are pretty large themselves, are completely dwarfed by this. And here's the kind of a side view to give you an idea of exactly how big this tree is.
Wow.
It looks to be a good 350 feet tall. It dwarfs even the ship, as it's kind of only 100 feet off the ground. You can definitely kind of see up into this tree from there. Now, on the ground below it, there's a couple of raised areas where essentially they're concentric rings that are raised going around that you can easily see there on the map as well. With the inner ring having those 4 trees growing out of it. And, yeah, so that's what you can kind of see from your current vantage point, looking down into this area and what have you. And just like everything else, like everything here is grand scale, so everything is very large. So your plan is to take a kind of hang out and do a long rest?
Yep.
Is that what I'm understanding? All right.
Yep.
Cool, easy enough. So the night kind of goes on without a hitch. Your sentry time for each one of you kind of goes on with little to no problems. You do kind of notice, though, while on various times of the shift, that it's something kind of catches your eye on the ground, a little bit on your peripheral, but you never quite catch exactly what it is. So it almost seems like something is, down there, but every time that you kind of focus on it, it seems to go away.
Hooray for more ghosts. I think I'm gonna bring Tiny with me when we go down there. Definitely gonna bring Tiny with me.
So you're taking the dog down the ladder?
No, I'm bringing the Tristram down the ladder.
Oh, that Tiny's the Tristram. That's right. Frankie's the dog. My bad.
Yep.
Yep.
But that's when we finally get moving down the ladder.
Right. So your next day kind of comes up. You guys are able to eat your breakfast and all that kind of fun stuff. Where are you guys kind of wanting the ship to drop you off at?
Northwest corner, between the 2 big trees.
You guys show me where you're wanting it to go, because like I said, like I said before, the crew will pretty much put you down exactly where you want to go.
Something like right in. Grab it. Something like right in there between these trees, or close. That's my thought, at least.
All right.
Yeah, that works for me too. It's insane how that's a 40-foot circle.
Yep. That's a 40-foot circle between those 2 trees.
Oh, this place is huge.
Yeah, this place is giant. All right, so as you everybody kind of makes their way down, the as you make your way down to the edge here, look how tiny you are. Well, you're actually too big for the map almost.
Wow.
There we go. You guys all are able to make your way down with little to no problems. And your cat stays right there, you know, by your side there, Morgan.
Excellent.
So you guys
Good
climb
game.
down, and once you kind of make your way, let me zoom in here so everyone can kind of see. But yeah, as you all make your way down off the edge of the ship here, the tree just absolutely towers above you. It's ridiculous and almost mind-boggling how giant this tree is.
We're so tiny.
That's right.
Hi, Kingmaker.
At least you're all ain't a dwarf. This thing's even huger to me. Fuck.
Yeah.
If there's more ghosts, I'm going to strongly consider burning it down.
So you will not.
Sits back and gives tiny scritches and watch the fight ensue. Yes. I mean, burn it down. I regret nothing.
All right.
You will regret it when your health drops low and you know heals come your direction.
I mean, there's that.
I'm gonna start making my way towards this tree with Tiny. Kind of just generally exploring and walking slowly-ish.
All right. So you guys start kind of making your way up. It's really just fascinating how large everything is here. Even the other trees who are by themselves, you know, a couple 100 feet wide. This other tree just completely dwarfs it as you move your way in. Your time is actually pretty made across easily. You don't seem to be accosted by anything as you make your way up to the base of the tree itself.
I would like to hug this tree. I like this tree.
You try your best.
You tree hugger.
But there's not a whole lot of hand around that you can really get anything here.
So I'm curious. On my way in towards this tree, did my cat seem any kind of agitated or fixated on an unseen point?
And it is such popular.
No.
Baby Goober shaker.
Cool. Seeing eye cat for the win. Gonna hang out on this route right here with my Trissom.
Okay. Yeah,
Keep watch,
so
buddy.
yeah, the actual base of the tree itself, as you kind of guys you look at it, it just becomes more and more massive the closer you get to it. And you know, you're talking this thing in and of is on average, you know, you're talking an 80-foot diameter trunk.
It's a big tree.
It is
humongous.
huge. It is absolutely ridiculously large. And it's old. It's extremely old and gnarled. You can see throughout it like various almost as the roots kind of come down. there are various nooks and crannies all around this thing.
Well, there's got to be a way inside this bad boy.
Find it.
Do I sense anything magical coming from the tree?
Yeah, with your Arcana check, I mean, other than the fact that it's giant and probably was not naturally grown this large, you don't sense anything necessarily otherwise, like, inherently magical or anything like that.
I wonder if I could take some of its bark and make another enlarging potion if we ever go back to that town.
I'd recommend not messing with the bark of a magical tree. You might not
I'm
get
gonna
the
walk around the
desired
base
result.
and see what I can see.
All right, yeah, go ahead and give me a perception check as you walk around the tree.
Can I join the turtle on his venture around?
Yeah, redhead, same thing. Give me a
I did
perception
too,
check.
but I got lost apparently searching around the tree.
Yeah.
My perception.
So, there, you guys really kind of notice that around the roots of this tree, there seems to be a bunch of like small openings just everywhere. Underneath the roots, around the roots, the way it kind of grows, where you know the roots are coming into the ground from all sorts of crazy angles. It looks like there's just hundreds of different openings around the sides of this tree that you could probably crawl up
Dwarf-size
into.
openings?
Dwarf.
Size?
It looks like pretty much any of you can kind of squeeze your way through and push your way through these openings.
Huss, protect Tiny. I would like to get into one of these crannies. And I would like to try to squeeze into one of these. I would like to squeeze into the tree a little bit.
All right. So yeah, as you kind of push your way in, you notice that you're able to kind of get yourself in, and inside of this little opening, it's almost like a small chamber, and it looks like with the way the rest of the roots are kind of all spread around, that there's other openings that go deeper into the tree.
Huh. Weird. I would like to explore more of these openings. Maybe I can find something that's more interesting. There's nothing in this. Is there anything in this chamber?
Not that you could really tell, other than there's roots and some dirt. But other than that, there's nothing out of the ordinary. As you kind of work your way deeper into the tree, eventually the light from the outside no longer makes it into this area, and your dark vision kind of kicks in, and everything turns black and white. You kind of make your way through chamber after chamber. It's almost maze-like in here. But you can definitely tell by your dwarven sense that you're working downward a little bit as you're working through.
I think I should stop very much sooner rather than later. About the same time my dwarf vision would kick in. Maybe I should turn around and grab the group and not bury myself here.
Okay. Now the thing is that it's basically these chambers, these small chambers, are essentially just big enough for like one of you to be in at a time. That's how small they are. So it's like a small squeeze through, and then another space where you can kind of look around, and then another small squeeze through.
I mean, so I'm pretty much on my own regardless.
Kinda,
Okay.
yeah, yeah.
I'm gonna keep going.
All right.
Suppose.
All right. So as you slowly make your way, you start to notice something deeper in that doesn't look like wood, even with the your dark vision being in black and white. You notice something that definitely does not look like wood in the next chamber away from you. And at this point, you're kind of you're probably about 15 feet deeper than what you were at the edge of the tree, and you're somewhere near the center of the tree.
So it's something that's not wood then?
Yes, something
can I
that
pull
does
out-
not look wood.
Can I pull out one of my hand axes and just start chopping away? Maybe I can clear out around this, whatever this is.
Well, you're not near it yet, so are you moving towards it?
Yes, I want to move
Okay.
towards it.
So as you move toward it, and you got to get a better look as you get right up next to it, you notice it's kind of a U-shaped piece of metal. Just what kind of metal it is, it's hard to tell with your black and white vision. And it seems like it's kind of open on the one end, on the backside, and it's just kind of wrapped around a root. But the backside is kind of open, so it shouldn't be an issue for you to kind of pull it off. It looks to be a few inches wide. And again, U-shaped.
Yeah, I'll grab it and just. Whoop, I'm taking this with me.
All right, so you pull the thing off. As you kind of get a feel of it, you can tell that it's made of a very rare metal. And by rare, not so much where it's necessarily more expensive than like platinum, but it's a rare combination. It's a rare alloy that you don't see too much nowadays, essentially.
I see.
And you can just tell that just by the sheer weight of it and your dwarven senses that this thing is definitely older.
Ooh. Heck, I'm gonna start making my way out of this tree with this big old piece.
Give me an intelligence check and a perception check. Sorry.
Perception check. Okay. Shit. It's not horrible.
Okay, yeah, so you're able to kind of keep your bearings and you're able to work your way backwards the way that you came in here. And you make your way out. Once you finally make your way out, you can definitely tell that this is some sort of electrum-based alloy. Electrum is essentially a metal that's halfway between platinum and gold.
Ooh.
And it's generally between silver and gold. It's a alloy between silver and gold, and it's not really used as a currency. It used to be used as a precious metal currency way back when, but that kind of has faded away as the years have gone on. It's rare that you see it, but it still does exist, and sometimes in the deeper places of the earth, you can find it. But this is definitely a U-shaped item. Again, couple inches long or wide, and as you now you get it into the light, you can take a look at it. You definitely see
Guy.
all around it.
It.
It is completely etched with a bunch of giant runes.
Hey, Huss, look what I found! I did it dumb and got lucky. Kind of just holding it up as I approach the turtle.
Oh, that's cool. I'm playing with Cat.
He's just
I mean,
you've been
okay,
playing with the
cool.
cat the whole time.
See, I'm telling you, the cat and the puppy were the best decision for this group ever. We love it.
Yeah.
I think I may have found what we're looking for, everybody. Let's get that's GTFO.
What do the runes say?
That's a good question. You said they're giant ruins?
Yeah, they're
I can translate.
they're
I
old.
believe it says, "Give more script."
Give more scritches? Yeah. So they look very similar to the older giant runes that you saw in the Eye of the Allfather.
Can I make them out knowing giants myself?
They're a very old. The runes themselves aren't necessarily full giant language type. They're older, much older.
I got you. All right. heck, everybody, let's get the frick out of here. I think I got what we want. Kind of just holding up the ruin you with kind of a really sturdy grip.
Yeah, sounds good to me. If we can't read it, then that probably is it. I was just making sure that, we didn't have to enchant something and make the tree tiny and take that or something.
We could always prod at this tree just a little bit more. I mean, I kind of walked in and found this one thing just happenstantially. We don't know what else is in this tree. Could always prod back in there.
Maybe we should just run and count our, blessings that nothing's happened as of yet.
As you guys are discussing this, around the tree, you make out they're not trying to be sneaky in any shape or form, but you make out a couple of large creatures that have horse bottoms, but human tops.
Centaurs.
They move their way around, slowly kind of making their way as the one very much to the north, and they get fairly close. You can see to the north and to the south of you that there is at least 4 of them around. There might even be more further around the tree that you can't make out, but it's hard to tell at this time. But yeah, so there's a couple of them there, and the one directly on the north kind of steps towards you, staying a good distance away. And staring at you just super intently. You have no business here. You should leave.
We were just leaving.
Yep. Don't gotta ask us twice.
We saw the tree and had to come check it out. I like trees.
This is not a place for ones of your type.
I think we should take off, guys.
Yep. Let's go. Tally-ho!
To the ship.
Thanks for letting us stay here for the brief moment. We'll let you be.
All right.
I'll just hold my tongue and get on the ship, not
Okay.
flirt with the centaur.
All right, so you guys make your way up and out. They watch you as you leave, and you're able to get yourselves back up on the ship with little to no fuss from the centaurs. Whoops. Get you guys back on the ship here. Then once we do that, we can continue on.
Maybe
And
next time.
finally,
Now-
the Huss.
Now we
think
going to
got
Flint
lucky
Rock?
that They didn't see me coming out of that tree.
All right. Yeah,
Yeah,
so
Flint Rock's next.
you made yourself way down to Grandfather Tree, which is where you are now, according to his map. Yeah, so looking at the map again, Flint Rock is where you're headed next?
Yep.
Sir.
All right. So the good news is you started first thing in the morning. It didn't take you too much time. It was about 15, 20 minutes of roaming around underneath the tree until you were able to find that particular item. And basically from the airship, it looks like it'll take a few days for you to make yourself over to Flint Rock. So the next couple of days kind of go by with little to no adventures. You do see off in the distance a dragon kind of flying by and eyeballing you, but from a very safe distance, not getting too close to you. This one you were able to make out that it is definitely a green-colored dragon of some sort. But it stayed far enough away that you weren't really able to get a good look at it.
Being watched by the dragons. Ah, yeah.
The primary color ones are the solid colored non-metallic ones are the evil ones, right?
Yeah, non-metallic or evil, generally speaking.
Fun.
Yeah. And that's kind of common knowledge. So yeah, it definitely, if a green dragon is watching you, it's probably not the best news in the world.
And when you say metallic, you're talking
Probably
black,
bad idea.
red.
No,
yellow.
that's chromatic, and those are the evil ones. Metallic are like copper, bronze, and stuff like that. Silver, gold dragons. Those tend to be the good aligned dragons. And the black, blue, red, yellow, green, and red all tend to be evil.
Excellent.
But all powerful, and still not about to take any crap from anybody that they deem to be a pain in their ass, essentially. So yeah, as you guys kind of make your way over, you're able to, after a few days, you finally start making your way over to Flint Rock. Now, this place, from the air, it's easy to make out. It's not really surrounded too much by vegetation and things like that. Where exactly was that again? Oh yeah, that was south of the moors and to Tartar Sauce. You can kind of see it as you get closer through the Evermoors, flying over top of the Evermoors themselves, and you slowly make your way into this hilly region, north of Yatar and south of the Evermoors. And as you get real close to it, it's just, it looks very similar. It's easy to find. There's cairns all around the raised beds around the entirety of the area. And this one has a similarity to where you were not just a few days ago, but instead of a bear.
Hey, it looks like a deer.
This kind of looks like a deer or an elk or something like that. Now, one of the difference between this one, like on the outside, there's cairns all around the outer ring, and then a depression, and then it rises back up, and sticking out are some menhirs, essentially very large rock spires sticking out of the ground in 4 spots. In the middle of this depression, you can see a stone slab directly in the center of the raised portion in the middle. Yeah. Now you can see all around the area, there seems to be elk kind of all over the place.
What time of day is it?
So it took you all about 2.5 days to get there. So it's about afternoon time. On the north side of our little area here, you can actually see a pair of elk just kind of grazing north of it.
Heck, I said we make our way down, folks. Let's explore that slab.
Kill the elk.
Ooh, Fresh elk sounds great.
I'm
What?
hungry.
No.
No killing the elk.
Oh, come on. We need the fresh meat. At least
You
one of
bought
them?
rations and you bought beer. You're good.
Fine.
I didn't buy beer.
Yeah, exactly. Barbarian. Come on, can we just pick off one of the little sick ones? Gotta have an antelope.
I'll help get an elk if I can scritch it to death.
Oh.
Just keep on giving it scritches
Until it dies?
until it dies of natural causes. And then,
I'll bring Frankie.
we'll be here a while.
You know
Elk
what?
probably live for a long time.
You know what? That sounds like a great idea. I'll bring Frankie. He'll be all in for chasing some game animals. He'll love it. I would
Right.
like to carry.
That doesn't sound like natural causes.
Totally natural causes. Frankie's natural.
All natural.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just this pair that you guys can see right now.
I would like to take Frankie with me.
All right, were
carry
you
him down the ladder here,
telling
have
him
my
to
phone
sit?
on my back or whatever? Come on, buddy. I got you.
Um,
Go.
so were you trying to sit down?
So that's an altar in the middle of the deer, you said?
Yeah, it's in the middle of that deer is a flattened stone altar of some sort. That's all you can tell from the height, from being up high.
Yeah, let's go to the altar.
Something like right. there,
Yeah,
you think?
about right there.
Okay. So you guys, you have them lower the airship and drop the rope ladders off the side. How are you getting that dog down again?
Crap.
Gonna throw him.
This is actually a bull mastiff, right? So this is a really large puppy.
Yeah. This dog's a couple 100 pounds.
Oh, good lord. The dog's the same size as I am. Fuck.
Uh-huh.
Huh. There is no practical way. I think Frankie's got to stay on the ship. Yeah, I think Frankie's going to stay on the ship because I'm not risking Frankie on some stupidness.
Okay.
Sounds good to me.
He'll risk
If you
himself.
brought him down, I would have just teleported him and me back up.
The best thing about the dwarf, he's like, yeah, I'm going to risk myself, but the dog? No, we can't risk the dog. Myself?
No.
Sure.
You know exactly. Risk
Let
the
him have the
dwarf.
dog.
Don't risk
Leave
the
him
dog.
on the ship.
All right. So you guys climb down. Let me zoom in here. Whoops. Zoom in here so I can...
Move him away from that fire, though.
All right. So we move... He was warming himself whenever y'all showed up before. That's why he was there. This is another one of those extremely large places. You find yourselves, kind of looking at the sheer size of this area. As you climb your way down into here. Ooh, I made Amandrea far too big.
Hey, I like to be big.
All right.
To the altar.
Yeah. So you guys gonna head towards the altar?
Yep.
All right. You start making way over the altar. There's a little bit of a drop off, both down and then climbing up to the other side there. But it's not so much that you can't kind of climb up it with little to no issues. As you climb up the other side, you're definitely noticed by the elk. And they just kind of watch you. They reach their head down, keeping an eye on you, pulling up moss and things, with their attention completely kind of watching you as you're over by the altar.
I wave at them. Hi.
They don't react in any way.
I'm gonna cast Speak with Animals and then see if I can talk to them and ask if they want any pets or scritches.
So you yell across to them after trying to speak with animals, and they just kind of keep on chewing on the moss and keep an eye on you. They don't say much of anything.
I'll take that as a yes.
This is where our
Well,
bard
wasn't to
gets
know.
gored by an elk. I'd like to inspect the altar. Are there any cracks or?
The altar itself is just kind of it's just a very large stone slab. And, it's just it's a rectangular slab. It's 10 feet by 6 feet. And it sits about 3 foot off the ground. So it's a large, very, very large stone, slab. Not unlike you've seen in other of these places that you've been.
Weird. Well, if I've dug up one grave, I've dug up several. So I'd like to pull out my shovel and just instinctively start digging at the spot just in front of me. Actually, I figure I gotta dig. Screw it. And start digging.
I can ritual detect magic again and see if I spot anything.
Wait.
Do it.
Okay, I'm gonna go all kumbaya with detect magic.
All right, so you spend about 10 minutes working on your ritual, and eventually, as the spell takes hold of you and you can start sensing the magic all around you, directly underneath this big stone altar, you're essentially getting some sort of divination magic from directly underneath this stone altar, right in the middle.
Why do these people always gotta bury stuff underneath big heavy things?
Right.
I'd like to help dig.
How far did I get in that 10 minutes with the shovel?
So you started kind of digging underneath. You gotta, I mean, in 10 minutes you were able to get a couple of feet down.
Keep digging. How are those elks, Gamos? Have this full-on conversation too. Fuck.
Yeah, he's over there just talking. So you're just petting them?
Yeah, petting them, giving them stretches, talking to them.
They're not running away. They're not very talkative. They're just, the only things that you can kind of get out of them is just, hungry. That's essentially it. They're just hungry and, hungry and calm. That's all you really kind of get out of them as they continue to kind of eat the moss. They don't seem to be afraid of you.
I ask them if they're thirsty and offer them some water.
Like in how are you doing that?
I have a water skin. I don't know. I guess I could pour some into my hand and do it. Well, I could ask them if they want some water, and then they could be like, "Yeah, sure."
Yeah, they sniff at it a little bit, and they take a couple of laps out of your hand. So again, they don't seem to be afraid of you.
I like this place. We should stay here.
I kind of lean around the rock just a little bit. Skamos, you gonna help us dig?
No, I'm busy.
Hoser, and I go back to digging.
Skamos, do you need any help? You look like you need help. I'm gonna go help Skamos.
I do. There's two of them.
So as Huss, as you start to make your way over to them, both of them start running away.
Aw.
Stop. Don't. Come back.
See what you did, Turtle. See what you did. Kind of leaning
Could I
back.
have grabbed onto one of them and tried to ride it away into the sunset?
If you want to go ahead and try to do
please.
a grapple check, yeah, you can go ahead and do that. That will be a strength check.
What's your strength modifier?
YOLO.
All right, there's that, and
You know what's
then
gonna happen here. He's gonna land it, and he's gonna end up taming a frickin' elk now.
Right.
I
That
mean,
good. Go. We need an elk. Go.
maybe.
Tame
All
the
right,
animals.
so you're able to actually get a hold of it and kind of hold on to it, effectively slowing it from running away from you.
Shh, baby, it's okay.
And yeah. So you're able to kind of grab a hold of it, and hold on to it as it tries to run away.
See?
No, he's
And
a friend. He just wants to give you scritches like me.
okay, I mean that's fine. So we're right at 9 p.m. So I think what we'll do before we start getting too deep into digging underneath this this stone slab and trying to hold on to elk, we're gonna take our 2-hour break. Essentially halfway through, guys, we take a break for about 15 minutes, so everyone can go take care of some biological business and stuff like that. So we're gonna start our break. I'll be back, guys, in a few minutes after I grab another glass of water to talk about
is
Dungeons
this
and Dragons. And if you are interested in playing, we'll talk about how you can get part of the game. But we're gonna jump into a break real quick. I shall return. right, everybody, welcome in. Thank you guys very much for being here, by the way. I'm not nearly as interactive on D&D nights as I am the rest of the time I stream, only just because I try to focus on the game. I try to chat as much as I can in the chat window, while not, interrupting the game and all that stuff like that. So, but I appreciate you all being here, as always. So, some of you might be new here and wondering what's going on. We are playing Dungeons & Dragons. We're playing on a virtual tabletop called Fantasy Grounds. Now, if you are interested in playing Dungeons & Dragons, if you've never played before and you've always wanted the opportunity, and for whatever reason you couldn't find anybody who wanted to play or any of those things, do I have some news for you, because that's exactly what I try to do. Essentially, what I enjoy doing, I've been playing Dungeons & Dragons for over 30 years. I'll let you figure out how old I am based on that, but whatever. But I've been playing the game for a very long time. I really enjoy the game, and I enjoy teaching the game to people because I feel like it has a lot of things, and some people just don't get, they don't get the chance to play. And that's what, right now I live in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. So what I do is I try to get as many people into playing Dungeons & Dragons as I can by teaching how to play the game, and all that. When I first started streaming Dungeons & Dragons, it was basically a little web show where I talked about how to play, rules, about the races, the classes, and stuff like that. And after doing that for a little while, we had enough people, having enough people interested that we started playing games. Oh yeah, so I was in the army for 20 years. I'm retired army, so I'm not in the army anymore, which is why I got this and why I got the belly, because I'm a big old fat boy now and I love it. So that's why I have the shirt. I was a recruiter,
delicious murder.
but in Vegas, not in Iowa. So anyway, what I like to do is get as many people who have never played Dungeons & Dragons a chance to play it at least once to get a good idea of if it's something they would be interested in playing more of. I believe it's a game that a lot of people can get into if they just give it a chance. So that's what this stream is about in a lot of ways, especially Friday night. So how do you become part of the game? That's the big question, right? And the way you do that, there's a few prerequisites. One, you're going to have a PC. All right, you're going to have a PC because you're going to have to be able to run Fantasy Grounds. Fantasy Grounds is a tabletop RPG. Actually, I think it'll actually run on a tablet too. I haven't tried, but it probably will run on a tablet. It's an actual program. So probably not on a mobile device, but maybe on like a powerful tablet or something like that. I know for sure it works on PC. You can either get it through Fantasy Grounds website, which I already put in chat, but I'll do it again. Or actually, it's on cooldown right now, so it's up there, fantasygrounds.com. In addition to that, you could also get it through the Steam store if you would rather get it through that. Wondering for other people, yeah. So it's the other requirement is to have Discord, because that's what we use for audio, is talking on Discord. So if we have communications, you're gonna have it through Discord. So it does kind of require that you have a PC in a lot of ways, and it's only because that's what we use for a virtual tabletop, and it comes in very, very handy. I don't require that you know anything about the game. I just require that you are willing to learn. That's the big thing, right? So, how do you do it? Well, you can see there that I Am Pingus has put in ! Discord, which takes you to my Discord server. In my Discord server, there is a section called Game Members Only. In there is a game sign-up sheet. Now, if you go there now, you're going to see that there's quite a few people who've already signed up for games. Now, please keep in mind that I also do a priority system where people who have never played before get in first before someone who's played before. Because again, the purpose of these games, not only to have fun playing Dungeons & Dragons, because I get to play D&D, which makes me happy. It's also to get folks in that have never had a chance to play the game. That's the other part. No, unfortunately, no. But see, you become what I call priority number 2, which is people who have never played with me. So priority number 1 is people who have never played before. Priority number 2 is people who have never played with me. Priority number 3 that have played with me. And that one's kind of a sliding scale. The longer it's been since you played with me, the higher you get up on that list. So that's kind of the idea behind what I like to do with Dungeons & Dragons, to get as many people involved with it as you can. I have a lot of fun teaching it. I have a lot of fun playing with people who have never played before, and learning how the game works and all that. It's fun for me. I really enjoy doing it, which is what we do on Friday nights. A lot of the folks that are playing... Pathfinder 3.5, which is the predecessor to Pathfinder. Pathfinder itself, I've also played. I've got Pathfinder books right over there on my bookshelf. I've got a lot of crap. I got Numenera, I've got Shadowrun. I've got all sorts of RPGs, tabletop RPGs, that I have interest in. I tend to focus on D&D for a couple of reasons. I feel like Dungeons & Dragons has a good balance between fluff and crunch. In other words, it's good for telling a story. It's also good for just crunchy, like, fighting stuff. It's got just the right amount of silliness, in my opinion, where you don't have to be too serious about it. You can be goofy with it, and all those things are things that I enjoy about that game. So, and as opposed to like Shadowrun, which is really, really crunchy and really, really trying to emulate life, you know, so you can get killed very easily, for example, in Shadowrun. In D&D, it's a little bit more difficult to do that. So that's what the stream is about. So the Discord, join it, add yourself to the list, and there's some folks in there that when this one finishes, when this campaign that we're currently on finishes, I will go through that list and contact people to see who's ready to play. Now, if you are not ready to play for the next campaign, you don't lose your spot or anything. I don't just remove you off the list, whatever. You might get in on the next iteration, whatever it happens to be. So I'm not going to completely remove you off the list if you're not currently available during the next time, the next campaign that starts. But once we get in, we'll talk a lot more. So campaigns last as long as I don't push story. So it's entirely up to the players and how they decide to play on, the pace of how things go. If y'all rush through everything, it goes faster. If you take your time, it goes slower. So it's entirely up to the speed of the players. So that's what Friday nights are about. Friday Night Dungeons & Dragons is 100% about playing the game with people who have never played before. I know Willie played Pathfinder before, but he never played the new edition of Dungeons & Dragons. Wondering what would have happened if they burnt the tree? Well, that's something we don't know about now, do we? Because we didn't do that. But anyway. Dang it, why won't you tell me? Because. But anyway, so that's what this is about. So if you guys are new here and you want to get on that list, go ahead and go to the Discord. Drop yourself. The Druid probably would have been really irritated by that. We've already had one inter-party fight. And, but yeah, so that's it in a nutshell. I do answer, if you have any questions during the game, please ask. but just keep in mind that if something is going on, I focus on being a DM first during Friday nights, and then I will move on to answering anything in chat as I have a chance to do it. So that's...
Why is our turtle... I'm sorry for interrupting.
Yeah, what?
Well, so why is our turtle threatening to polymorph into a giant ape and kill everybody? What I miss?
No, it's just, Rashus was actually asking what happened if they burned the tree down, and his answer was I would lose my crap and kill everybody.
Yeah, no, I'd be standing right behind the druid. Yeah.
Yeah, you shouldn't have done that. This wasn't my idea.
Yeah, no, I know better than to piss off the druid. Again, I'm sorry for interrupting.
Yeah, no worries. All right, y'all. So is everybody back?
I'm back.
I am.
I never left.
Yep.
I never left. I've been here forever. Awesome possum. All right, let's get back into it. So when we left off,
Oh, what is that smell? It was not goober this time.
as the turtle moved its way up, the elk. Oh, I'm trying to move it on that screen. Whoa! What are you doing? You stop that. Scamo. Wait, that's Huss. As Huss made his way up, so you're here. This one starts to run away. Scamos, you grab a hold of the antlers of this elk and try to hold on to it. As it tries to get away, and the other one takes off as you get near it, Huss. Yeah, well, so Scamo, since you can still kind of comprehend the animal's speech, it is extremely upset that you have grabbed a hold of it, and it seems to be indicating that you will pay for this transgression.
About to fight like 5,000 elk.
Oh god.
Like the chickens from Zelda, just suddenly thousands of them just appear. Yeah.
It's not chicken from Assassin's Creed. That might be even scarier.
Oh, we're doomed.
Well, you can eat buffet.
They're so fluffy. I'm going to.
Just
die.
remember, Scamos, you grabbed him first. He's just defending himself.
Yep.
Shouldn't that have been a persuasion check trying to talk your way out of it? I'm sorry.
I'm scared. I didn't roll that. I'll curse me.
What? Curse? What?
That's fair.
That's fair.
What?
We should have killed those elk.
All right.
Dude, I'm
So-
with you on this one.
So I like how he's like, wait, I didn't roll that wisdom save. What was that?
Man.
Yeah, so anyway, you feel that that something terrible has befallen you, Scamos.
It's called life.
It's cold.
Meh. Say love me. Well played, sir.
If you want to go, you can, Mr. Elk. I just wanted to give you more scritches. He's not going to hurt you. He wanted to also give you guys scritches. If you want, I can go with you guys if you still want scritches, but you want to eat somewhere else. But you guys looked like it was eating some really tasty moss. So I figured you guys would want to stay. I just want to tell you guys he's not scary.
So you're just
More
holding
scary.
you're just holding on to this thing's antlers while you're telling it this after you feel, like something terrible has befallen you.
Yeah.
I
Well,
love you.
I kind of let go of the antlers, but still. Well, I say that and I let go of the antlers, and he can
Alright.
stay or he can leave.
So when you let go of it, it rears up on its hind legs and brings its front feet down upon you. You take 10 points of damage from its hooves bludgeoning you, and it turns tail and runs.
Oh, well.
Trigger an attack of opportunity.
I mean, it does if you wanted to take a swing at it.
No,
I totally
I'll let it
deserve
go
to
and
stick
be
to the
free. I got
Alright.
my scritches out of it. If he doesn't want scritches, I won't force it upon it.
All right. All right.
What's the digging coming?
I don't know, man. I was just watching.
Yeah, you stopped this and just watched as the as the
What the
bard
heck is
grabbed a
that
hold
guy
of an
doing?
elk.
Elk.
I'm over here leaning against this rock, giggling at this point. Good job, buddy. Good job.
That worked out great for everybody involved.
Hey, Stamos, how many fingers am I holding up? You got this hoof print in the middle of your forehead. Are you okay?
I just see the one. It's the middle
It
one.
brings me back to that night. Oh, I'm just gonna lay here for a bit, reminiscing.
All right.
I just shake my head and go back to shoveling. Silly bards and their nonsense.
So after a couple of hours, you're a few feet down. You're not very wide, but you're a few feet down. You can kind of see a little bit of the bottom edge of this stone slab. It looks like it was a couple of feet below ground as well.
At least it's not a giant tree this time. Alright. We're coming up on it, guys.
You could you actually get right underneath. Essentially, you can see the bottom lip of it.
Ooh. Is there any way that I could use my pry bar to like pry it over to a side using that lip?
I mean, you can absolutely try if you wish, but remember, you're talking about a piece of stone that is, 6 foot by 4 foot by 4 foot. So you're talking several tons of stone.
Helpful?
Yeah, no. Yeah, I got a big pry bar. Hey, Greg, come straight. Help me push this rock.
Okay, I'll help.
I'm a Herculean bugbear.
All right, if y'all are going to try to move it, go ahead and everybody give me a strength check.
Strength check.
I forgot how to do that.
All right, Scameless rolls a 0.
I roll the whole.
I'm helping. I'm there.
I'm helping. I'm helping. He's got like a finger on it.
Good.
He's not even really lifting. He just looks like he's trying to.
Andrea channeled her inner Skamos.
Yep.
I like touched it with my finger.
Yep.
I'm helping.
I'm helping. Yeah, try as you might, even with your combined strength, you're really not able to move this thing very far at all.
Oh, giant ape!
I'll keep digging along the shorter edge, so that maybe I can I just want to keep digging along hold on. This edge. Just follow that lip.
Just
see if I can't get more underneath it.
Okay. Yeah, I mean you can keep on digging. That's not an issue at all.
Digging.
Unless anybody else has a better idea, making the dwarf do all the work.
Oh, giant
So,
ape.
hey Huss, what is the strength of your giant ape? Do you know off the top of your head?
The giant ape?
Yeah. Hold
Not
on.
off the top of my head.
All right, give me a second. I will look. Based on kind of what you know about the ape that you have turned a couple of people into thus far, you're pretty sure that it's probably strong enough that maybe it might not be able to necessarily pick it up, but it should be able to move it out of the way.
Ooh, pick me, pick me, pick me.
Y'all know I can only do that once a day, yo.
Go take a nap afterwards.
Right? You don't
All
necessarily.
right, let's try and figure out another way to open it before we use that up.
Fair.
If something bad happens.
If something bad happens, and you're gonna be wishing Giant Ape could smash something instead of picking up a rock.
I'm willing to bet you we're gonna come. Yeah, no. I'm gonna shut up now.
Or what are we trying to move right now? Is there like a door?
The altar.
Big ol' rock. Big ol'
No,
rock.
the altar.
So we're just trying to move the altar off.
Yes.
Yeah, the big rock.
There is some sort of divination magic that Huss
There's a
detected.
glowy below it.
Yeah, underneath it.
Could we summon your 2 dire wolves, tie some ropes to them, and we all pull?
How far down the hole is the hole right now?
It's a couple of feet. So the thing is about 3 foot up above ground and about 2 feet below ground. So you're talking it's 6 foot by 5 foot by 4 foot, which is why it's a very heavy stone block.
Would we be able to get like a badger or a small weasel under the hole that, or in the hole I've already dug? Like underneath
Just
the rock?
let me go into Badger mode and I'll dig down there the rest of the way.
I can dig it.
I mean, you were this whole time. Pun intended. Anyway, yeah, so you're able to switch into a badger mode. And you kind of dig down underneath, and right underneath like the edge that he found, and digging underneath it, what you find a very well, it's essentially, it looks like a very large chunk of metal. It's hard to get a good idea of exactly what it is around it. But it's pretty big. It's about 5 foot long. It's pretty much the entire length of this stone slab it takes up. And the stone slab is clearly sitting directly on top of it.
Son of a...
Oof.
Oh, we can dig out one side of it and slide it out. Maybe.
I'm down to try that too. Dwarf!
I mean, or you can just turn to a giant ape there and just like probably like use the growing effect of the magic spell. Just knock it off. Boop.
Or crush myself in the process.
True. Big ape though. I mean, I'm if nothing else, I'm in favor of using the spell just as the moving.
We could
out of
try
the way.
moving it one more time. Everybody.
I'm in for that. Well, actually, maybe since you're down there, we is there a way that you can come out the other side and we can attach a rope around it and then just pull on the rope?
I don't think badgers can tie.
Well, we don't need him to tie. We just need a hole on the other side of the mound from where he came in. So we have that just straight line through, so we can feed the rope straight through, throw it over the rock, tie off the rope, and like pull on one side. That's my
So
idea.
this thing is long, but is it like wide?
It's a long table. So like
It's
3 by 6.
4 foot wide by 6 foot.
About the object. I'm talking about the object underneath that I can see.
It's about 3 foot wide.
So it's almost as wide as.
So,
the
and it
altar
after you're
itself?
kind of digging, it's kind of got a triangular shape.
Okay. Alright, so we're gonna have to flip this thing or dig out one side. Don't come out and go bug Skamos because he can still talk with animals and these guys can't understand me.
It's true.
And Skamos will give me scritches.
Ah,
Also very true.
Weird relationship y'all have, but whatever.
You know what? We're very pet heavy.
Heavy petters,
True,
I got
okay.
it. Anyway.
Oh,
How could you not give that big, tall glass of water? Scritches.
right, facts.
Oh my god. All right. All right, so what are we doing?
Need scritches.
What are y'all doing?
Grinches?
So I'm
Scritches?
staying in honey badger form
Yes.
and letting them know what I found.
Okay.
And we need to come up with a plan on how to get it out.
Oh yeah.
Dig it out.
If I need to do any further digging, I'd prefer to stay in this form instead of swapping out.
Just dig it out the side.
Yeah, just kind of relay to everybody so everybody knows what's going on. Because I don't have any ideas.
So, yeah, you can tell that where this thing is sitting, essentially with this big stone slab sitting on top of it, it will be kind of difficult to get underneath this hunk of metal, and not also completely destabilize the stone slab that it's sitting on. So essentially you dig out underneath, the slab's probably going to just settle in on top of this thing.
We should all try and pull.
Yep.
I'll help try to pull again.
What about the airship? Gamos, airship. Can we use it
Airship?
somehow?
Might.
I don't think we should risk our ship on this, given what it does and who paid for said ship.
I can't think of. Because
If
it
we
doesn't
can get
seem like
rope
it
around
have a.
this, can we lift? Just
Yeah, I
gotta
guess
pick
it
it up
could
and
help.
move it a little bit.
But it could also rip off the harpoon, or whatever we tie to it.
True.
Tie it to the fire elemental.
Tie it to the fire elemental.
We'll tie it
Yeah,
to Greygick and have Greygick
that'll
hold
work.
on to the ship.
Captain America, the whole thing, where he's holding onto the ship with one hand and the rope with the other.
There
Right.
you go.
Yeah.
I'll do it. I'm Herculean Bugbear.
Freaking horrible ideas.
I mean, isn't that what y'all said? That you're just a series of one horrible idea after another? Isn't that kind of the whole?
No, right? All right, screw it. Let's risk the airship that a dragon paid for. I'm in.
I don't think we
And I
should.
can-
Worsening ideas.
What's the risk to the airship if we talk to the people on the ship and get their 2 cents?
So,
I mean,
Alright.
it can lift quite a bit of weight.
so
I guess if they think
essentially,
it's all right.
it can, while it can carry a lot of weight on it, essentially this would be the same as like tying a balloon to something. It might not be able to move it on its own, even at full lift. But as long as you all are, you keep an eye on it, and keep an eye on, depending on how, if you're planning on tying it to the skids or you're planning on using the harpoon with the rope on the harpoon, it might assist you guys in lifting it itself as well if it can't lift it on its own.
Right, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah,
If
and they can keep an
that
eye
gives
on
us
it.
extra lifting power.
Yeah, and they can keep an eye on it and kind of make sure that it's not.
I think we have enough rope between us to make a solid loop. Like, even if we wanted to make a big loop around the ship, I think we have enough rope between us.
Well, the harpoon rope is a couple 100 feet as well.
Oh, Lordy, I forget about the harpoon rope. I'm just thinking we want to like do what we can to spread out the tension over the whole of the ship instead of maybe the single point of the harpoon that we could rip off and suddenly not have a harpoon.
Well, it's
They would be the best people to figure out where to anchor it to the ship.
and that's what they were saying is like the harpoon is probably the best place because that's kind of what that area is built for, is to latch onto things.
Alrighty, cool.
And they said they'll keep an eye on it, and if they feel like it's about to snap, they'll stop the lift and cut some of the height so they're not pulling on it anymore to make sure they don't lose it. So they're not going to damage the ship to do this, but they will do the best they can to make it happen.
And we can dig out around the stone a little bit more so that it has the best potential to the easiest lift.
A good knot for that lip. I can dig it.
So you're still are you digging out on like the one side still? Is that what you were still doing there?
Yeah.
Okay.
At this point, I'm trying to dig out like a lip notch so we can like have the rope like pull against the stone underneath a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Because like.
And I can dig a tunnel up underneath so we can get something up and around.
Yep. All right, so we got the honey badger / druid digging a tunnel underneath. Again, everybody on the ship is kind of on board, so they toss down the harpoon. They don't shoot it down. They toss it down with the rope still attached to the winch. So it's definitely attached to the winch. So what their plan is to once you guys get it underneath and you give them the go ahead after it's tied off, they'll start to kind of winch it down. So all the slack is completely out of the rope, and then they will start firing up the balloon to start pulling upward with as much lift as they can produce.
Okay.
All right. I mean, if that's what you're doing, that's what you're doing. You all agree? All right. So it takes some time. Okay, go ahead.
Maybe they can move in one direction too, and we can kind of lift and push all in that same direction to kind of roll the rock.
If you're since it's on the front of the ship, they can kind of angle it in whatever direction you want to move this thing.
Because in that way we can be lifting from down here in the direction the ship's going, and the kind of roll the rock, use all that momentum. Well, some physics.
Physics.
Yeah, and actually, Morgan, you kind of remember just from your dwarven life that, a very similar kind of thing was used in construction with your people, where you would just dig out a corner of the lip of something large, and then once you can kind of get it up far enough in a certain direction, gravity kind of takes over and pulls it into an upright position. So it's very similar to that type of construction method that you've done before as a dwarf.
Obelisks. Woo! Love it. What?
And since you already kind of have that southern side, that long side there, kind of partially dug out, that's probably the best way to do it.
Great place for it. I dig it.
Pun intended or not, I still don't know. Anyway,
assume all puns, especially with me, because yeah.
All right, so you guys, after getting kind of the prep work done, the ship kind of maneuvers itself with the front this way. They tighten down after the harpoon gets kind of pulled out and you guys get it tied down around the rock. They position the ship so the front is pointing directly towards the rock. And after it tightens up a little bit, you see them reverse the fan or the wind blades on the back. All right, let's see. We got a 23, a couple of 19s. All right.
Wait. Hold on.
What?
I forgot to do a thing. Wow. Good job, fighter.
Okay. Yeah.
Way to hook it up, bugbear.
All right. So, with your combined efforts, with a lot of 23s and over 20s and a couple of 19s, even the dang bard actually did something this time. With the pull of the rope from the ship, there's a little bit of a moment where you don't think it's quite gonna tip over. Then suddenly, the dirt underneath the lip kind of gives way and it slides downward into the hole that you've created before, where now, while it's no longer perfectly flat, it's now kind of sitting at an angle, but it definitely gives you an easy access to this large piece of metal, which you can now see looks to be a very large spearhead made of mithril.
Oh lordy! When you say large enough,
5
small-
foot long and about 3 foot wide.
How heavy would you imagine? Can I get
75 pounds.
I want to like reach in and just snag that piece out of there as quick as I can.
You can't really snag it. It's 5 foot long and 3 foot wide.
Fine. I'll pull that.
It weighs 75 pounds. It's not small.
Reminds me of when I used my enlarging potion.
Yeah.
Not
Stop it.
snatchable. Fine.
Just the tip.
Hold on, wait. I've got a vote for this.
It is just a tip.
Yeah, it is just the tip. It looks to be a giant's spear tip made of mithril.
I mean,
I would like to go in, remove the spear tip from the hole. Now that there's an opportunity.
Well, it's not really a hole. Like I said, it was just sitting directly on top of this thing. So now that it's lifted up, it's just there.
Can I remove item now, please?
Yeah.
Perfect. Alright. So this is mine now.
Go put it with the rest of them.
Alright, fine.
Yeah, put it with the rest of them. Yeah, it should be in your stuff now. Yep, it's in there.
So we keeping these all in a central location on the ship?
Yeah, there's on the bottom floor of the ship, there's a hold where most of this stuff has been stored.
Oh, okay. Because I don't think I dropped off the last one that I put in my bag of holdings.
And yeah, I mean, if you want to hold on to it, that's fine. But like the gong, the shield, and all that have been down in that hold for this entire occasion. Even the ball, the stone that you found from one stone, the small size of it was put in the hold as well.
Like, this ship is becoming more and more valuable every time we stop.
I mean,
I'm wondering if we should go make a pit stop back at the
And drop some of this stuff off.
NC Hash Brown.
MC Hash Brown.
Oh, good
It probably
lordy.
wouldn't be a bad idea.
Oh,
I mean, we do have a green dragon eyeball in us.
all right.
Just in
We ain't
case
worried
something
about it.
happens and we don't lose everything.
I mean,
but to be perfectly honest, we can hit
How many more spots we got to hit?
one,
3.
3 exactly. I mean,
yeah, you found more than half.
heck,
already.
Let us go to Shining White on our way back up to. Well, actually, I'm willing to bet you the moment we get back to Hash Brown is when the storyline shifts again. So I dare say-
Metagaming! Oh, sorry.
Damn it! Sorry. I'm thinking overall it'd be better to get everything and do all the stops before going back to Harshnag? Hash Brown?
Yeah, Harshnag. Harshnag in the Eye of the Allfather, where the Oracle is awaiting for you guys to return with the relics that you found. Because the whole purpose is that just as a reminder, the Oracle has basically told you that in order for you to know where these the conches, to find your way to Hecaton's court, are
We need
owned
to
by
have-
the Giant Lords.
Yep.
And in order for the Oracle to tell you where these Giant Lords are, you need to return these relics. Now, these relics, and the more relics that you find, the more locations of Giant Lords you will be given.
So shall we just keep on going and
So actually, do you guys have 3 places left? What do you got left?
We
You just did
have
Flint. So
Shining White,
Mordred's
Murderer's
Mound, and Raven Rock.
Raven Rock.
Got it. Okay, yeah.
so I say we just head up to Shining White.
I said hit all 3,
Okay.
and yes.
Yeah, I'd just say we keep on hitting them.
Keep on keeping on.
Not trucking, baby.
Got it. Let me move you all back over to the ship, and you're super tiny on this thing, but whatever. I'm not going to deal with it right this second.
Just make sure that the VOD goes up so I can go back and say that I said something might happen.
Now, even after leaving this place, Skamos, you definitely have a feeling of foreboding.
Can I get a quick word in, if you don't mind?
Sure.
It's more of a song, really, but I feel it fits. I'd like to play for you, Grateful Dead. Kidding.
All right, so we're leaving Flint Rock, and we are now headed to Shining White. Those two they're not too far together. It only takes another, let's see, I forgot. I did this calculation and I forgot what it is already. Yeah, so it pretty much, going to Shining White, you'll arrive there the next morning. So, after, everyone takes a long rest, they're able to sleep overnight. But, Skamos, for whatever reason, you don't seem to heal at all after your long rest.
Ha ha! Sucks to suck.
Oopsie. Oopsie.
Get for not helping the dwarf dig.
I'm just gonna shut up in this case. I have nothing good to add to any of this. Well, poor dude.
Still worth it.
Still worth it. Oh, there you go. All right, so
Bard's a masochist.
So you make your way over to Shining White, and you arrive there the next morning. First thing, and again, as I said, you don't seem to heal at all. You're still injured from the elk, and you didn't seem to recover from it at all. All right, so as you kind of get closer to, let me get rid of you. You move northward, making your way up to the Shining White. Essentially, they take you directly north. I did not move the party.
Alan,
What?
Alan,
What?
Alan.
What?
Can I try something on who is it that is not healing?
Skamos. When he woke up, he didn't really heal.
Can I try laying on of hands? Because as an alternative, I could spend 5 hit points from my own pool and cure a target of 1 disease or neutralize a poisoning effect.
this would neither be a disease nor poison.
Fine.
So you wouldn't be able to cure this with that. But you can lay on hands if you wish to heal.
I'm looking at a couple other things I have.
Okay.
So it's not a curse. It's not. Can we?
Well,
can
wait a minute.
I-
Wait, it is a curse. I thought you said poison and.
Yeah, I'm looking to see if I have anything for a curse.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, it's not a disease or anything. It's definitely some sort of curse. And he's been affected with it ever since he grabbed a hold of that elk.
Would figure our bard would get a curse.
And not from a jilted lover.
I know.
Which is what I would have,
Right? That's, good job, buddy. Good job.
That's what you would expect.
I know.
But that's not what actually happened.
Good job, Skamos. Good job.
Or, some half ogre. Anyway,
I thought she would have broken in twain.
So as you kind of start getting close, while you're looking at that, I'll kind of talk about what you guys are getting close to. As you move up to this, you can see your next location as the sun rises in the morning. Below you, it's sitting on a rocky hill, kind of directly in as the river kind of flows around this hill. It and as you kind of float over top, you see this very kind of snow-covered area. To the northwest, you see just this very large spire, several hundred feet tall. And kind of in the shadow of this, you can see this, very similar thing to what you've always seen before. Cairns on outer areas with piles of large stones kind of to the north, south, east, and west of a central figure. In the very center, the actual ground itself is not covered in snow. The rock itself is white.
Ooh.
And even the spire itself that sits straight up is just a very bright white. And as the light of the rising sun hits it, you can tell very easily where this site gets its name from. The light from the sun just gleams off of this spire of white stone. So on each of the north, south, east, and west sides of this, there looks to be some menhirs, and they look to be kind of made of marble, as opposed to like the stone ones in the one you were previously at. This one seems to be carved out of marble. And what's different though is that in the other one, these menhirs were upright. It looks like all of these have been knocked over. And in the middle, the central altar has been completely broken in half, and kind of the stones around it flipped over.
I think somebody beat us here.
Hogwash.
Right. Let's get down there and inspect the place.
So on Skamos, a restoration won't work either, right? It just says you touch a creature and can end either one disease or one condition afflicting it.
Yeah, you're gonna need. You're probably gonna need something along the lines of a remove curse.
Yeah, and I don't get that till I level again.
Yeah.
Okay, then I'm just gonna lay on hands on him just to heal some of his, because he's down hit points, right?
Yes, he's down. He's currently down.
I'm
hit
down
points.
10.
You're only down 10?
Yep, he's
Yep.
down 10.
I'll heal the 10.
All right, your magical
just remember-
healing does affect him, so he actually is able to be healed. But it
Okay.
seems like perhaps his body's natural ability to heal itself has gone away.
Well, thank you.
Okay.
And 10 hit points. That's like a third of his health.
It kind of is actually a fourth,
Dude.
almost,
Almost a fourth.
almost a fourth.
Well, it's a little bit over a fourth, actually.
Yeah.
And here I am sitting at 2.5 times your health.
And that's why you're a frontline fighter, and he is a guy who stays in the back and shoots fireballs at things.
Yep. Oh, because these things hurt like
Yeah. All right.
10 bricks.
So yeah, like I said, this place looks like it's been kind of it's been gone over.
Someone got here before us and took what we wanted?
Them's fighting words.
Well, detect your magic and see if we can find anything. Maybe they didn't find it.
Okay, I'll detect magic. Can I do it from up here and still see down there?
How far is the distance of detect magic?
Let me look.
Because I believe it's only like 60 feet or something like that.
Oh, it's within 30 feet.
Okay, 30 feet. Yeah. I knew it wasn't like super long. So you would have to climb
Okay.
down, you
I'll
know,
go
to kind
down.
of see anything.
I'll join you.
Go with them.
All right, yeah. So as you kind of, where's the ship dropping you off at? Can you show me where you're going on
Right.
the map?
Right in the center.
Right on
wherever
that
the
center,
stuff is.
center area. Gotcha.
Yep.
So who's all going down? I know Huss said he's moving down.
I'll go
I'll
down.
go
I'll
down
go.
with him.
So everybody's going. Got it. Okay. No problem. I'm just gonna make you. I'm not even gonna bother trying to make you guys smaller. I'm just gonna stick you on the map. Boop. Yeah, so you guys are dropped off. You climb down the ladder and you make your way. Now, this looks to be very similar. Well, it looks to be like a chunk of marble was just absolutely crushed and destroyed. There's little small pieces of marble just kind of strewn everywhere up in this area. Just completely everything is smashed. Large stones, small stones of marble chunks just everywhere.
Does it look like it happened recently?
It's kind of difficult for you to tell. It would take you kind of know based on what you've seen before that it would take significant force to do this much damage to this stone, and not to mention, you know, all the menhirs that were, you know, 20-30 feet tall, completely toppled over as well.
Big giants.
Those red giants in their rage. I want to start scavenging through some of the rubble, kind of just kicking around, seeing if there's any deeper piles of anything to see.
Huss,
Yeah.
did you detect? Or you haven't done that yet?
Takes a minute to cast, or 10 minutes to cast.
Yeah,
so-
so
Oh, okay.
while he's casting, you're taking a look around.
I'll check out around too.
Okay. Y'all give me some perception checks, please.
All right.
Yeah, as you're kind of digging through the rubble and stuff like that, you notice that while the altar itself has been crushed and destroyed, it doesn't look like any kind of digging or anything was done underneath it. The ground itself is pretty much undisturbed. But you don't find anything else of particular within these, the rubble that's left over from this being destroyed. And Huss, you get done casting your spell, and as you look around, you don't really sense any kind of magic.
Somebody beat us here.
I sense nothing here. So maybe we should move on.
Okay.
Maybe wander around just a little bit, maybe? But yeah, there ain't nothing here. Let's flip out.
So you all just leaving?
Can we see, like, what direction the people who did all this went or anything?
Give me a survival check.
Before we leave, we should check the spire and see if there's something at the spire. Maybe we're just checking the wrong location.
Right. Or, yeah, I totally agree with that. We should have a more thorough look around. 30 feet's not that far for such things, I'd imagine.
All right, yeah. So
run me around.
with this,
Can't do it.
this is essentially just this whole area is essentially marble, in chalk. So there's really no tracks or anything for you to follow at all. So it's impossible to know where they came from. Whatever did this, there's no tracks for you guys to find.
Okay, so let's go check out the spire before we leave then. Let's see if we
Greg
have
is
anything
going to
around.
carry me because he can run faster.
Let's do it.
All right, so you guys travel the several hundred feet there. Actually, how long is that? It's 195 feet. All right, yeah. So you're 200 feet to get over there. You guys are climbing it. This thing is pretty much almost straight up and down.
I'm gonna, if everyone doesn't mind and they don't want to climb up, I could use my celestial flight and fly around and see.
I
if
just
see
to
anything.
kind of give you guys an idea of how tall this thing is.
Put all of
It's
us on the top of it.
it's several hundred feet tall. And it's just
Yeah.
basically just a spire of pure chalk going up into the sky.
Ew.
Can I see any magic-y over here?
No, you see nothing at all on your trek as you moved from one place to the other. Nothing at all.
Darndest
Crap.
thing. I say we should get the flip out of here. I think we've been bamboozled.
Did you try detect magic over here, Huss?
Yeah, it lasts for like an hour or something like that. So
Oh, okay.
yeah, he was detecting magic the whole time, and he's detected nothing within the
Okay.
range of it.
I can lift you up and see if there's something up higher, maybe. What's your range on your
It's 30
detect
feet.
magic? Do you want to try going up a little higher? I could probably carry Huss, right? While I'm using my flight.
I mean, possibly. It might be a little difficult, but yeah, you could probably do it.
You want to try it, Huss? You up for a ride?
No.
Okay, then I guess we're not doing it then.
No. I don't want to be picked up.
Please don't drop me to my death. like to live.
I love it.
Gamos, let's
So-
use your bird.
That's a good idea.
Cute.
I'll go talk to him and see if he wants to give you a ride.
I mean, y'all also have an airship.
It's true.
That's true.
Not nearly as fun,
I was like, y'all are doing all this. Is like, you have an airship. Like, literally a big ass balloon with a boat underneath it.
Why don't we all just go back?
Plus, it'd probably be a lot faster to use the bird than it would be to try and fly an airship within 30 feet of something magical.
That's probably true as well, though. Yeah.
Bird.
Word,
Yeah.
word's a word.
I'll go back up onto the ship and talk to Mr. Birdie and ask if he wants to give Huss a ride around.
He
We'll get some
he doesn't seem
during
to
the
be
ride.
against it. He's kind of pretty much determined that you guys are his new masters. So he's perfectly willing to be ridden.
Can Skamos and I both ride him?
You'll tire him out much quicker. He's usually even his tack and harness that he uses for, you know, his saddle and all that is only really made for a single rider.
What if I turn into a squirrel and ride on Skamos?
You could get away with that, yeah. You'd be light enough that
And
wouldn't
I-
matter.
And I could still see with the magic vision?
Yes, it doesn't go away.
Done.
You turn into a kid
Let's do that.
and roast Gamos.
I don't want to get blown off. I want to have some grip.
Yeah,
What?
with claws. All right.
Just don't
So,
bite me, those hurt.
how long does detect magic last? I just want to double check because again, this spire itself is pretty big. So if you're going to try to scan the whole thing, it's going to take quite a bit of time to scan the entirety of this spire. I just want to try to figure out exactly how you're doing this. Are you going straight to the top? What's your plan here?
I was planning on going to the top. I can't really scan the base. Scan base would take forever.
Yeah,
Top makes the most logical sense. So
starting at the top. All right.
Yep, sounds good to me.
All right.
Going
We
into,
can.
things that look cavernous or something. If there's a giant hole in the middle of it or on the side, you can go and inspect that. But
Oh, it lasts 10 minutes. That's how long it lasts. Concentration up to 10 minutes. Yeah. All right. So you fly up to the top and kind of make your way around the outside of it, and even making your way up, you don't see any kind of caves or nooks or crannies or anything like that. It's just a giant stone spire of chalk, a chalk spire going up into the heavens. And even on the very top, you don't sense anything, and flying around it from the top, you don't sense anything. It seems pretty much nothing of interest other than the fact that it's kind of just a really big spire sticking up out of white rock.
We got hosed, everybody.
from this vantage point, can we see any, settlements or signs of activity around us?
No, nothing outside of, essentially just the forest to the north and all that. That's all you can really make out. The rocks, the evermoors you can see to the southwest, the rivers, all those things. That's all you can really make out here.
I recommend that we and go to our next destination. I think somebody has already plundered this particular loot.
That's what I think too.
Well, we didn't see any signs of digging, and not all the things that we found have been magical. We could just dig where the thing was and see if we find anything.
All right, this place shouldn't be that hard if it's a chalky mound. I'll give it a little while digging in the inner location of all this. Sure.
All right. So
You're right about there.
yeah, no worries. So there's not a lot of digging that you really have to do. Not too far under the surface. Maybe a good 2 feet down. You make contact with something. Spending a little bit of time of clearing it out. You seem to find 2 parts of a colorfully painted mask. It seems like it's broken in half.
Can I mend it?
Oh, please and thank you.
You cast the spell. That's a cantrip, right?
Yep.
Yeah, you cast the spell, and as you touch it, it's far too large for your spell to fix it.
What if 2 of us try?
No. They don't combine together to make it like, super mending or anything like that.
Aw.
Well, we could take the parts with us, and maybe Harshnag or the Oracle will have a way to put it back together.
What if
True.
it turns me into a giant gorilla and I get out some glue and I glue it?
Gorilla glue.
Because Gorilla Glue fixes everything.
Facts.
So is it like a mask for giants, or would it fit on one of us?
No, it's a giant size mask. It's just each
All right, we found it.
each half of the mask weighs about 20 pounds. So and it looks to be made of a thick porcelain. So they're somewhat less hardy than the other things that you found.
All right. Well, might as well bring it back. I have glue on me, so once we get back on to the ship, I'll glue it together.
Ooh.
Turn
Perfect.
into a gorilla first and then glue it. I'm telling you.
Because I already glued all the bugbear fur to my handcuffs, so
Oh my god.
I have some glue to spare.
We're not talking about the manacles anymore. All right.
Can we talk about Quinn? How is she, by the way?
She's good. I'm
Tired.
surprised I didn't take some more damage.
All right. So
You know,
from Shining White,
Since I didn't repair after the long rest, but that's neither here nor there.
so where are you guys deciding to go? Where are you directing our party?
So now we gotta go to Morgor's Mound next, right?
Yeah, and then Raven Rock.
So directly. So you're basically going directly west to Morgur's Mound from Shining White.
Yup.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Do you see
So
the dragon anymore?
you haven't seen it in a couple of days, and for the past few days since the first time you saw it.
Alright, perfect. He's probably burning some village or something. We're good.
Even better.
Give me a quick nature check,
Okay.
Bugbear.
I gotta find nature.
I said Bugbear. Yeah, so it's a green dragon. It doesn't burn things; it melts them with acid. No, it breathes gas of terrible gas.
Oh Lord.
The dragon's
So it's like
mask.
me after I ate Taco Bell.
So it's part dwarf.
I mean, possibly.
Okay.
It's more of a poison gas.
Oh, so dragon after a dwarven meal.
Can we,
Gotcha.
Can we upgrade this bugbear into a green dragon?
No.
Okay.
He doesn't
Turtle
just
dragon, yeah.
upgrade.
Turtle dragon.
We're turtle
Tell me.
dragons. All right.
Next level up. Become a green dragon.
Just gonna become a dragon. I'm just gonna be a dragon from now on. I mean, you could have been a dragonborn. Just saying, but you didn't.
I know.
You could have had a breath weapon, but you don't.
Ooh, you've threatened me with a good time, sir.
Instead, he got static electricity.
Yes, he's got static electricity and really long arms. That's what he gets. Yeah, so it only takes a day, about 20 hours to make your way from Shining White over to Morgar's Mound. Morgar's Mound itself is, again, like pretty much everything that you've come across has very, very similar very, very similar in shape, but this one itself is far more ornate, if that's really the good word for it. It essentially, in and of itself, while the other ones were kind of hills that depressions kind of formed the shape of animals, this one, the hills themselves kind of make the shape of the creature. So all around it on the ground are cairns just as before, but this one, even seeing it from the side, is kind of in a mound shape with large stone spires sticking out of the top, kind of making a spiked ridge of sorts going across the entire length of this creature shape. It's a crude, long-necked, wingless, dragon-like creature, is what you can tell from kind of looking at it from here. There's just giant cairns encircling the entire thing. Enormous, just everything is big here. So you can tell, though, that somebody's been here before. There's several spots where the ground has been dug up. Which you can, kind of see on the map where those kind of like black areas are around the hills here. Well, like everybody got quiet. Did we lose connection?
Oh,
I was like, that's what it looks like. You see dead spots. That's what's what we got.
So all these like spots where it's like black and white and the like little curve, that's where people have dug
That's where
stuff?
it looks like. Yeah, people have already have dug in those areas.
Wow, way to ruin nature. Who does that?
You guys, if I wasn't around,
hey,
I was gonna say, weren't you gonna burn down a giant ass tree before?
that griffin attacked me. Thank you.
I never threatened to burn down the tree. So.
That's right.
I did.
You're right
I didn't
there
want
with
to until Ghost came out of it and then tried to kill us. Then I was kind of angry at the tree.
I think we
That was
got right
debating
by
on
the
it.
spines. Right
Plus,
in the
the
middle of
best
the back.
needs to do is detect
Yeah, either on the
magic
back
again.
or the head, I'd say.
Right, back or the head?
Right there, thanks.
All right, so you're just dropping right on top of the middle of the back there.
Aw,
We ain't
yeah.
scared.
Works for
Hopefully you
me.
don't land on one of those spiky thing.
Yeah, I mean, they're very, very large. So it would be
As
doubtful. So as you
the
guys,
dwarf gets skewered.
y'all climb out. So yeah, it's very, you're a good 30, 40 feet in the air, above the baseline. And you can kind of, it's hard to, like, standing on top of this, if you didn't know what shape it was in, it would be very difficult to discern the shape of this hill, essentially.
How big are those spines?
The spines themselves are a good 20, 30 feet as well.
How big around?
About 5 to 10.
I'd like to apply my weight to it, see if I can get any kind of push-pull reaction from it. Maybe I can loosen it up some.
Give me a strength
Knock it
check.
over.
It's always trying to destroy things.
Always. All right, yeah, with a 17, yeah, it doesn't move.
It wasn't good enough.
It was worth a try. I'd like to go down to the next one. Do the same thing. Maybe I can loosen this one up.
Yeah, no matter what you're doing, none of that stuff is moving at all.
Huh.
Can we see if we can see what direction the people who made all these holes and dug them up went, or how recent the destruction occurred?
I mean, I know you have someone who's really good with, like, determining how old certain stones and stuff are, but no, I mean, it's hard to tell. Like, it looks like some of these holes have been there for a very long time. Some of them are newer, but still not necessarily recent. So they're nice and dried out. None of these things that look like they've been recently affected.
Want to try and detect magic?
I would like to get out my shovel and start digging at the spine that I'm at.
Okay. So you just start digging?
Yeah, I'm trying to knock the whole thing over more specifically. So...
Just digging on one side to kind of loosen it up?
Yeah, I'm kind of in a harumph that it's not moving.
That it's not moving?
Okay.
Yeah,
it's got to get knocked over.
Okay.
All
right,
like
so-
to take my... Go ahead.
Oh, no, I was going to say, so what are the rest of you doing?
I'll do my normal thing.
I'm gonna make sure I stay away from the spire that the dwarf is trying to knock over. So
Got
in
it.
case it falls in the wrong direction,
You're not underneath it?
I'm not underneath it. That's
Got it.
Follow the turtle.
All right, so you're kind of... you sense, actually, as you're kind of walking around, you're sensing a lot of older magic, where it seems that, especially where some of these dig sites are, that there used to be something magical in those areas that are no longer there. So you're not getting a sense of actual, like, full-on magic, but like a lingering sense of it, where you're not getting a full aura, but something was there at some point.
Where the dig spots are?
Yes. You also kind of get a sense that you might have other areas where there might be other ones. So you sense a couple of areas that there might be, in the 10 minutes that you have, you spot a couple of likely areas. We'll put it that way.
okay. I'm gonna follow Hush and take my shovel and try digging wherever he says to try to dig.
Okay. As you kind of start digging in, it takes quite some time. How long do you plan on digging?
I'll dig until I need to. I'll dig until we find something.
Okay. All right. Cool. So as you dig through one of the areas, you spend some time, and after about 8 hours of digging in the general area, you find a small leather satchel. And inside the leather satchel seems to be some fine dust.
Ooh. Got some more magic powder, everybody. Very nice.
Can I tell what the powder is or the dust?
Not immediately.
Throw a pinch at the dwarf, see what happens.
Well, back to the naked halfling after this. Were there other
Okay,
spots too?
I'll just put
There was
the
more than...
satchel of dust in my bag of holdings
All right.
until we can figure out what it is.
All right. So yeah, you can go ahead and let me put that in your...
Need to be careful putting magic things inside magic things, potentially.
Do you want to take it, Huss? I'll give the satchel to Huss.
Oh, I
instead.
just gave it to you, so let me...
Okay.
It's in your inventory. You should be able to... I don't know if you can drag it over to him or not. There's still a few other places that it's either residual or magic some in a couple of other spots. So you've already spent 8 hours digging in that one spot to finally unearth something.
Might as well dig up another one.
All right.
Get as much stuff as we can.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna give
Gotta
my
plunder
shovel.
some things.
I'll give my shovel to somebody else, because I'm tired from digging after 8 hours. I'll let somebody else dig.
Okay.
I'll give him my shovel.
I want to give up on the folly that I'm after and see if I can't help the group get more things.
All right, no worries. So you guys start kind of find another spot and you start digging. And as you dig into another area, you kind of start you find a metal case. And it's a scroll case. And inside this scroll, or inside this case, you find a scroll.
Ooh.
And Amandrea, you actually have no problem reading the spell.
Okay.
It's
What is the spell?
it is remove curse.
Oh, sweet.
What an amazing random
That's
roll that
convenient.
was. Yeah, what an amazing random roll that was. That's actually really funny to me.
So if I study the scroll, does that give me the spell?
No, it doesn't give you the spell, but it basically gives you a one. Once you cast it from the scroll disappears.
Oh, okay.
But essentially, because it's on your list, you're able to cast it from the scroll.
And is Skamos still cursed?
Uh-huh.
So I am going to use it on Skamos now.
Okay.
Skamos, get your butt over here.
Thank you.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
after chanting the spell on him, did I delete it or is it still in there? I think I got rid of it. Yeah, you don't have it anymore. Yeah, so after casting this spell, you feel the effects of the curse leave you. The burden that's been upon you for the past couple of days, keeping you from healing, has slowly kind of faded away. to nothing. You feel it dissipate. All right, so you guys just spent about 16 hours kind of excavating this area. Night is starting to fall.
Well, I think it's a good time for a good long rest.
Go back
Yeah.
up to the ship.
To the Husmobile.
Yeah, either to the ship or we can just make a tiny hut right here if we're too lazy to climb up ladders.
I mean, I'm all for a tiny hut right here.
There's screeches on the ship.
Talk me into it. To the ship we go.
All right.
Right.
All right, so you guys make it up to the ship. You're able to complete a long rest with not being bothered at all during the night. So you're able to complete your long rest, and for the first time in a while, Skamos, you actually rest well in a way that you've
Yay.
not rested before.
Meat is murder. Delicious, delicious murder.
And suddenly in the distance, everybody hears screeching. Everybody roll initiative.
Nope. I'm just wondering what y'all are doing. I know you're back on the ship. You spent the night. The night went by.
We're gonna spend the morning giving the animals scritches.
And sorry, before I forget, Andrea, after kind of looking and figuring out what's going on with that dust,
Yeah, I thought you put the satchel, but I don't see it listed.
I
in the
don't
inventory.
see it in there either, so I'll just do it this way. Since you figured out what it is. This seems to be dust of dryness, which has... It
So
looks to
it's
be
sand.
about six pinches of this dust. And essentially what it'll do for you is that if you sprinkle some of this on water, it will basically turn a large amount of water into a small marble-sized pellet. And it will weigh almost nothing. So it looks like it'll take about a 15-foot cube of water and turn it into a small pellet.
Ooh.
Okay.
Can you like break the pellets and
If you smash the
Unleash a
pellet,
bunch
it will release all the water that it has collected.
Ooh. There's some deviant things you could do with that. Wow.
And like I said, it looks like you have about 6 pinches of it.
Okay.
So, how many of these spots did we figure out? How many did we find? Spots wanted.
They're all over the place.
A whole bunch of them. Wow. You guys want to keep digging? See if we can't get lucky.
The whole mound kind of just shows up as magical.
yeah, I say we keep on digging. I'll bring my whip and play some bagpipes, and you guys can get to work.
Okay. Anyway, so after another 8 hours of digging and excavating and moving dirt out of the way, you come across a tooth, which is about the size of your hand.
Is it toothless too?
And it's made of it's while the root portion of it is made out of normal tooth material, enamel. It seems to be kind of completely coated and plated with gold.
Ooh.
Any magical properties?
Not that you can tell.
So, is this tooth like one of the size of Hash Brown's teeth?
It could be.
Approximately?
It could be. Yeah.
I wonder if this is it. Our
We could give Toothless
item
another
that we
tooth.
need. Yeah, worst comes to worst.
I mean, it's
tooth
definitely a giant-sized tooth. Like I said, it fits in your hand. Not small, like it's a handful. The tooth is hand-sized.
I think we just found a new tooth for Toothpock.
Okay, let's take the tooth, and we gotta keep on digging.
All right. So as soon as you guys pull the tooth out of the ground, you feel a rumble
Oh,
all around you.
help us out, those worms.
Everybody roll the initiative! You knew it was coming.
No worms.
Actually, who's grabbing the tooth, by the way?
I am.
All right. Morgan pulled the tooth out. Here's you a tooth. Boop. A gold-plated tooth. Just for Morgan.
Man, I suck at rolling initiative.
So don't pay any attention to the
Giant worm on the screen.
Picture, because the picture is terrible for this because they just modified a different monster, but they kept this picture because they didn't have a different picture for it. So skeletons erupt from various points all around the mound, as you can see. These skeletons are large lizard-looking creatures based upon their bone structure, with spines coming down their back. They're completely very big skeletons. And with that, and they look very much like this mound as far as like body shape and stuff goes. And with that, they all take a look, and all of their attention seems to be focused on you guys.
Yeah.
Gregik, you're up.
Ooh. All right, where am I at? Let's get in here nice and close, like. I'm going to enrage.
Okay. That makes
I
sense.
just gotta remember how to do that. It's been a while.
Yep. Been a couple of weeks. There you go.
And then I'm going to move to this one.
All right.
15 feet, right?
Yep. Your reach is 15 feet with your halberd.
10. Is he 10 feet away right
He's
now?
10 feet away. Well, with the hill, he's right in within your range.
All right, so I'm gonna lightning strike him first, okay?
Okay. Yeah, it's fine. Fails its saving throw. And takes 5 points of damage.
Now halberd.
That's going to hit with a 15. And for 14 points of damage. Nice.
Now halberd.
And then your second swing will also hit. And for 7 more points of damage. Wounded, but not down.
Then I'll stop right there.
All right. Number 1. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Climbs up the hill and beelines itself directly towards the dwarf.
Good.
Number 2, which is on the other side. 5, 10, 25. also beelines directly towards the dwarf.
Hey, look, I have friends.
Number 3 also beelines directly towards the dwarf. And last but not least, number 4 ignores everybody else, steps away. Gregik, you go ahead and take your opportunity attack against it, if you wish.
Oh, I've made so many friends. This is amazing.
That's gonna hit. It's heavily wounded. It continues on. Amandrea, if you've got your sword out, you can take a swing at it as it runs by you.
Okay.
Oh, this is amazing.
And I'm also going to tell my shield to protect me.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine. That'll happen on your turn. You miss when it runs by you, and Huss.
What am I doing?
If you want to take an opportunity attack.
check.
Actually, no, it stays within your range. Never mind. So you don't get an opportunity attack against him. And he runs up and gets as close as he can to the dwarf. Well,
They really
I guess.
don't like you much.
I feel the love.
All right,
So much
Morgren,
love.
you are now surrounded by a bunch of snarling. Well, I guess they can't snarl, but a bunch of skeletons of, some sort of lizard creatures.
Pass me the dude.
No, I'm gonna use this as an opportunity to be a goon. I'm just gonna start throwing dice because reasons.
All right, that's going to be hitting number 3.
I'm gonna be using a lunging strike as well on all of these attacks.
All right, 14 points of damage, and then plus another 6. That was against number 3.
1.
Yep. All right, that's that.
3.
All right, hold on. I mean,
Yep.
how about you let me? So that's 3. That's another 9 points of damage. I mean, you might have already damaged it. You don't know. All right.
It's true.
Okay. Yep. Go on. So your third attack is a miss. Got it. And your fourth attack is a miss. As always, your first 2 are amazing, and then your last 2 are terrible.
True.
That's kind of how it works.
True. Yeah, and I'm just gonna stand there. Actually. Yeah, no, I'm just gonna stand there.
Okay. Easy enough. Skamos, you're up.
Which one looks worse for wear? I'm
The one
assuming
closest- the one-
Morgan's left.
Yeah, kind of. I mean, there's 2 of them that seem to be a little more rattled than the other 2. The other number 1 and number 2 look fine. They have not been hit at all.
All right, then I'll attack. For some reason, they don't have names above them for me, so I'm just gonna attack the one on the left.
All right. Number 3, you miss with your firebolt.
Oof. Yeah, I'm good where I am then, I guess.
All
I
right.
just fireballed all 3 of them. And Morgan.
What's that? I'm sorry.
Said he should have fireballed all 3 of them and Morgan.
Yeah, well,
have
I
the
was
health
debating
for it.
on just making one of attack the other ones and just having Morgan disengage and run away.
I don't think
I
that
would've
works on undead, does it?
Well, it might not. It depends on if they can be frightened.
No. All right. Well, Amandrea, you're not moving or anything, are you, Skamos?
Nope, I'm good here.
All right, cool. Yeah, Amandrea, it's your turn.
Okay, on one of them that haven't been hit yet, I'm going to try to turn unholy.
Turn undead. That hits. I believe that hits everything within 30
Will it hit all of them?
feet of you. Let me double check it. Your abilities. It's been a while since So your channel divinity for devotion. Turn the unholy. You can present your holy symbol, speak of power, centering fiends and undead. Each fiend or undead that can see or hear you within 30 feet of you.
Okay.
Yeah. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. The 3 that are closest to you for sure. Number 1 is too far away.
So do I roll on each one of them?
You can do it that way. That's fine. All right. So number 3 fails.
What's number 3?
Number 2 succeeds. And number 4 succeeds. So only number 3 has been turned by you.
Okay.
And that was your action?
Yep.
You moving?
No, I'll stay where I'm at.
All right, cool. Huss.
It doesn't happen to be cloudy or thundering out right now, does it?
No, it is not. It's a clear day.
Okay, it's now not clear. I'm calling lightning right there in the middle, so there's a big 60-foot storm cloud that just formed above everybody's head.
Neat. All right, yep.
Oh, lordy. Max Pucker.
And sorry, Morgan, but you're gonna get hit by this.
No, I don't
And I'm
care. I
okay
have
with
help
that.
for it.
And I'm okay with
The
that.
airship.
Not
The
even red
airship's still
turtle.
inside the radius.
Yeah, you guys are all inside. We're all getting hit by this.
Centered. It's center. I'm centering it right there because it'll hit all 4 of them. Because it's a 5. Anyone within 5 foot of the point where I drop the lightning has to make the saving throw.
Okay.
I haven't been hit.
Were you-
Okay, I
gotcha.
But it's cool.
So you're hitting those 3 and Morgan is what you're
Yep.
telling me.
And Morgan.
You got it. All right. That one fails. So a giant bolt of lightning flies out of the suddenly appearing storm cloud above you, and arcs down, hitting the ground. And of course, Huss, he fails. And
Oh God.
22 points of damage to Skeleton 4, 16 points of damage to Skeleton 3, 26 run it down, and Morgan takes 15 points of lightning damage. This lightning bolt just strikes the ground, pretty much decimating almost all of them. That one saved and only took 13 instead of 26 points of damage. Yeah, all right.
So actually,
That's called lightning, right?
Do you guys actually
Yep.
know what the word decimating means? Actually, it's reduced by 10%. So in some cases, yes.
I mean,
Fun
yeah.
Fun thing I've learned over the week. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no worries. That's a level 3 spell? Neat. And its concentration and lasts up to 10 minutes. That is a long time. All right.
And I get to move it if I want.
Each creature within 5 feet of that point makes a dexterity saving throw. All creatures take 3d10 lightning damage on a failed save. And then you can use your action to call down more lightning bolts every time after that. Over the existing start instead of creating a new one. Oh, under that, the spell's damage increases by 1d10. Aha! I see that's why you were asking. It does more damage. Got it. Okay.
I was hoping.
You were hoping. No. All right, Huss, your turn is done, correct?
Yep.
Greg, back to you.
All right, I'm gonna move right here, and I'll lightning strike.
And fails its save.
Here, why not let it?
6
Lightning
points of damage. There you go. More lightning damage.
Hey,
You're in your element, completely surrounded by the storm. That's going to hit with a 23. against the fourth one for 13 points of damage. Your halberd rips through the skeleton and shatters its bones, splitting it in half, and it just kind of falls apart under that blow.
I lied.
And then your second attack completely misses number 3. You moving or anything? You're good where you are.
Since this one's dead now, I'm gonna move right here.
All right. Yeah, I'll be removing him shortly. There you go. Yep, so you can move up. No worries. You are done. Number 1 steps forward and here we go. And takes a bite out of Crime. Or the dwarf, whatever you want to call it, and misses you.
Hit me to do that.
Number 2 attacks and swings its tail at you. And you easily jump over it somehow with your little dwarven legs. And it completely misses you as well.
I stick my tongue out at it.
I mean, something very, very similar to that. All right. And then the last one also swings its tail at you. And that one will hit.
Macarena.
For 15 points of damage. And you're easily able to keep your balance, and it does not trip you. So there's that. Yeah, that was all 3 of them, right? Yep. All right, Morgan.
Let's see if I can't take out this one that's almost dead.
That'll hit. Your great axe completely destroys this one as well, crushing its skull and scattering the rest of its bones along the field.
Oh, Fibba.
Yeah, that's an automatic miss, and you miss with your second attack.
Par for the course.
Yep.
I do believe that's turn then for me.
Yep, Skamos.
I'll just firebolt.
Okay. That'll hit. Yeah, 8 points of damage.
10 points of damage.
10 points of damage. So another 2 to which number is that? That was 2, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably.
We can't see the numbers of them.
Oh, you can't?
Nope.
Oh.
Huh.
Oh, it's not just me? That's nice.
No.
Weird. I don't know what happened. I'll have to look into that.
Yeah, like I could see everybody else's names, but,
All right.
you know.
Weird. All right, so your firebolt hit. You did some damage. You're done. I'm Andrea.
Okay. I'll move up here and I'm gonna do Divine Smite at a level 2 on myself, right? I do it on myself, right?
You attack them first with a regular attack, and if you hit before you roll damage, you put it on yourself.
Oh, okay. Then I will do that.
Yep. Attack first. Make sure you can hit it. Yeah, that's a 22. That's gonna hit.
Good. So now I put that on myself.
Yep. Yep, there you go. And go ahead and roll your damage on it. For 31 points of damage.
Yeah.
Screw that thing.
Yeah. Screw you especially much. The power of your deity just shines through your weapon as you make contact with this undead skeleton beast, doing massive amounts of damage to it. and darn near destroying it with a single blow. Very close to destroying it with a single blow.
Let's finish it off.
Yes. With your second attack, that's going to hit.
Should I waste it? I'll see if I can take him out with just regular.
Yeah. Good plan.
It's pretty close. 6 more points of damage. Not quite enough, but this thing is teetering
That one, no.
on death's door again for the second time.
Somebody finish him off.
Oh yeah,
Huss.
giggity, what?
Finish him off, Huss.
If I move it there, I still hit both with 5 feet, right?
Yep, you can hit both of them and avoid Morgan.
That's what I would like at this point.
Yep.
All right, here we go.
Makes the sex.
He succeeded, but he's still gonna take damage.
Yeah. Sex. I can't even say the word for some reason. Yeah. The lightning bolt definitely destroys that one in a hail of bones and electricity. The last one takes 14 points of damage.
Is
And-
anyone finding funny? in
Greg
all
it.
of this?
I'm gonna move up.
Yep.
I'm gonna lightning strike. So I just cast it on
Yep.
myself.
Yeah, you did.
I cast on someone.
Wait. For Amandrea versus what happened there? I'm so confused. You
I don't know.
just casted it on Amandrea. That's what happened. I don't know how you did that, but
Didn't mean to do that.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it fails.
I'm gonna
5 more points of damage. It's moderately wounded.
halberd.
That first attack will miss.
My.
And your second attack will miss.
Alright, I'll wait here.
Yep. Hang out. The skeleton completely ignores you, Gregic, and attempts to take a bite out of the dwarf. And misses with a 9. Morgan, you're up.
Alrighty. Something that I'm finding funny is it's considered acceptable losses. Okay, let's just screw it. Deal damage to the dwarf. It's fine. Seems legit. In a lot of
Yeah,
ways.
that'll hit. Yep. All right.
And I'm just gonna stand
More
there.
damages. This thing is probably right around the halfway point. Skamos, you're up.
And I could have fireballed you. I could have cast level 4 fireball on your face, but I chose not to.
I was
Not
nice.
everybody attacks the dwarf.
You're my hero, buddy. You're my hero.
Yeah, that's gonna hit with a 22 for 13 more points of
Not
damage.
bad.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
I'll just stay here.
Stay there. All right, Amadrea.
Okay, I'm gonna come up here and smack this guy now.
Gonna smite it. Let's see. Regular attack.
Hopefully-
The first attack will miss.
Ah, okay, second one.
Your second attack will hit with an 18.
Okay,
Smite it. Yeah. So, with your massive blow, 27 points of damage to this beast. It just completely shatters under the might of your sword blow, killing it in an amazing, beautiful fashion. And with that's where we're going to end it, guys. Right after killing those terrible, terrible beasts. Congratulations to you all. It was a great and
I cured Morgan thumb.
Thank
so
you.
I know we got done right in time because I know Gregic Wormhole had to leave like right now, so we got it done just in time. Perfect. I was like, we have like 30 minutes. There's only 4 of them. We can get this done quick. So I was trying to get the things moving, and we got it done just in time. So, guys out there that are watching, thank you very much for being here. I enjoyed it. The rest of you guys are amazing. Really, really appreciate it. Have fun, players. You guys got a lot of stuff done. You have one more place to visit, and I think you're gonna go back to the place to do the things. So we'll talk about that next week, guys. Morgan, what are you doing? Huss is apparently healing you. All right.
Thank you, hero.
All right, y'all. But thank you very much for being here, guys. Really appreciate y'all hanging out tonight, playing a little bit of Dungeons and Dragons, and watching us be goofy all night long. What I like to do at the end of every single one of my streams, guys, do a bonus roll of Divine Favor. Tonight, our bonus roll is a 13. It's not shabby. It's not shabby at all. That means everybody gets 65 Divine Favor. Congratulations to all of you guys. You could have been anywhere, but you came to see me and our players, and we all really, really appreciate it. We will be back next Friday with more Dungeons and Dragons, unless someone gets sick and dies, I guess. I don't know. We'll figure that out. Sunday we'll be back with more Horizon Zero Dawn. Hope to see you there for the 8-hour sermon. Y'all been wonderful, and I appreciate you, as always. Remember, until next time, guys, be good to yourselves, be good to each other. Remember that you only have one life to live. So does everyone else around you. Try to leave their lives a little bit better than what it was when you got there. I will see you guys later. This will be uploaded to the YouTubes here shortly. Which, by the way, guys, if you want to get caught up, if you haven't seen any of the episodes leading up to this, I do upload every single one of these up to my YouTube channel. You can go and check out from the beginning and see how weak they were and almost died to goblins their first day on the job. And now here they are destroying massive amounts of giant skeletons. But we will see you all later. Appreciate you all. My name is Alan Yelloweyed. As I said, I will see you later. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and good night.
The eye rests. It has shown you all it can for now. This is not a time for sorrow, but a time for joy. When one chapter ends, another must always begin. Ponder upon the lessons you have just witnessed, and heed its wisdom. Apply it to your lives. Go forth, be well, and do good towards the others that enter your story. Let your chapter and their book